It's like the absolute commitment to every style on every album. It's like, yeah, these guys were absolutely on all drugs. I mean, there's no way you're going that hard. Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, whether we like it or not. That's a whole new discography per episode. My name is Michael Mansour, and I'm joined as always by my psychedelic co-host, Alexander Volt. Say hello.
Hello.
And today we'll be discussing every album by
hotly anticipated the Cardiacs.
Cardiacs. This is, at this point, since we've finally finished Sonic Youth, our most requested band in the history of the show.
Yeah, I think so. I think even without a poll or something, I could just like these animals, just every video. Cardiacs.
Where's the Cardiacs?
Where's it at?
Multiple Patreon requests. This was requested on Patreon, but by everyone. So, even though I can't technically, I believe it was Tom who requested Thinking Fellers, which was a delight for me. He requested them and Cardiacs. And he's like, whichever you want. And I said, well, if Cardiacs put out the new album, then them. If not, then Thinking Fellers. And now we got both. So hell yeah. Since it was years ago at this point, a patron whom I'm forgetting, apologies, they recommended Cardiacs, and then they sent me a song, and I listened to the song, and I was like, damn, this is good. I'm really interested. We should do an episode on them. That was like 4 years ago. And we're not just covering the studio albums, we're covering one of the cassettes, the comp with two or three EPs on it, and then I also listened to some stuff outside of the albums. Technical difficulty with Alex's video, but we're back. We have crammed this week with so much of Cardiacs. We listened to all these records. We listened to them multiple times, day and night. Has been I work and then I Cardiacs every day. For hours and hours. We've been mainlining this band. It's a crazy band to mainline.
Such an awful idea. Originally, I was like, this doesn't look bad. And you're like, I got to throw two more on the list. And I had to tell people in the Discord, because someone was asking about Thinking Fellers if this one album was in consideration. And I was like, I'm so new. I didn't even know about that album. But Mike is sick. He might have added it had he known it existed. And I let our patronizers know, like, this one album can really because I'm a ticking time bomb now with me leaving. It's insane. Adding one or two albums completely changes everything.
Yes. And for Alex's reference, he's leaving the show by the end of the year. He announced it on our King Crimson Part 1 episode, which you should go check out if you want more context. So we're fulfilling all these requests by December 31st. And it has not been easy. It has been crazy hard.
Insane even.
And so what makes this episode and this week extra difficult was I took a little trip down to San Francisco to go see Swans this past weekend. So I lost 2 whole days, actually like 3 whole days of album listening. So I thought, okay, there's 6 albums here where I can cram that in by, we usually record on Thursdays. I could finish those in 4 days. I've done worse. I can do that. And then I remembered on Monday, I remembered that Tom, who originally requested them, said, you guys, you got to cover the Seaside cassette, and you got to cover the Songs for Ship and Irons compilation. And I saw that and said, fuck. And that's when I knew, like, we got to postpone it. We got to push it another few days. I have to we have to go hard. And we did. We listened to all of it. We're finally done. How do you feel about the band?
I feel insane, which I think is a normal reaction. there's 2 albums I really like that I'm gonna revisit, and then the rest I need to digest for like a few months and revisit those albums, but not really. Not I can't say there's like a bad album here. So
I would agree, but I'm going to go way harder because I would in most things you said. One, this is going to take some time to digest. So much so that I am not even a little bit confident in my picks. I mean, except for my personal favorite, because I just have a bias toward it. I had so much trouble choosing worst because I think this band not only doesn't have a single bad album, I don't think they have a single bad song. I love them. Like, I haven't loved a new band in so long. Like, I'm flabbergasted at how amazing this fucking band is. Like, sheer excitement. Every album, it's like, what the fuck is what is happening? And the way they repeat themselves, they have a style, definitely have a style. They don't repeat it in like you even if it feels like something you heard before, it's so not what you've heard before because the riffs never end. One riff is like fucking 12 bars. It just keeps going and going and going.
It is for newbies. It is so exhausting to listen to. There are times where I can't even process what is going on. This is sped up clown circus music, which is, if you're watching on video, why I'm wearing like a kind of kooky shirt. There's like, and then I guess they're more like their peers, but just to like compare them to people who haven't heard, there's like elements of Danny Elfman, there's elements of Mr. Bungle, of Devo, of Ecstasy, and so many other things. Even a prog band like Emerson, Lake and Palmer and King Crimson is in here, and it's just it's the most chaotic, insane shit I've heard in a while.
It's really disorienting. What makes it more disorienting is honestly how fast most of the music is. Like, they're a fast band and they play a million gajillion notes. And it's like prog, but I mean, it's definitely prog, but it's prog in a way that I have never heard. Because yeah, early on you get like, oh yeah, that's like early Ecstasy. That's like definitely you hear the Devo influence there for sure. And then as it goes on, it's like, I never heard fucking anything like this. I mean, there's no band like them. It's just nothing like it. This is the most, like you try to, and I started, as I started reading a little bit about the band here and there, and seeing that, obviously, Mike Patton and even Faith No More, like as a whole, they're, huge fans. And then one that I read, I was like, and as soon as I read the name, I was like, oh no shit. Of course, Devin Townsend is a massive fan. Like, oh yeah. He's the only thing I can think of that, like, when he's his stuff really, like, oh, clearly he was a Cardiacs fan. Like, he sounds like he's trying to do some Cardiacs.
I forget where it was. I'll bring it up when we get there. But there was one album where like I made the strapping young lad connection, and even like this singer Tim, at some point I was like, oh my God, I wonder if Darren from System of a Down like sings the way he does because of the I bet he loves the Cardiacs, actually.
If he's influenced by Tim's vocals, he's doing a poor job as being as good. I'll tell you that. You like Darren's vocals, I don't.
Yeah.
But I quite like Tim's vocals. But also, the thing about his vocals, I mean, it's not even just his vocals. It's just tons and tons of harmonies and choirs and layers that are so, like, the mixes on these songs, they're so filled to the brim. They're exploding out of their pants. It's so many different textures crammed into one thing. And then you get all these vocal layers that it's almost hard to make out a tone of his voice because there's so many different layers and it's all within this really busy mix. So it ends up having this like really futuristic spaceship sounding vocal style. And it's like, it's really cool.
Yeah, there's so many different like layers of vocals, and they'll bring in choirs, and they'll do these like Mark Mothersbaugh things, like when he's like composing cartoon shows. It's insane. No one's playing cocaine circus prog rock music. It's this the only band doing it.
You've nailed it with yes, cocaine circus prog music. That's exactly what this fucking it's so fucking cooked up.
Yeah, Cardiacs is such an apt name for the band.
Yeah, and also weird, yeah, especially considering the death of Tim in 2020, which is really sad and creepy with the name and all that. But yeah, we'll get to his death and then the final album, which was released a week ago.
Which is the recording of this. Which is another reason this took so long.
So yeah, we were going to do this episode, a long time ago, and then the album never came out. I think it was originally they tried to aim for an April of 2025, and then that pack that came and went. But we were so as soon as we were able to get our hands on it and listen to the whole discography, we got the whole episode. But yeah, we'll get to all the more recent stuff later, because the final years of his life and then the making of the final album is brutal. I mean, it's crazy. I can't really think of another story like it.
Really tragic, inspiring, and one of the like craziest making of album stories I've I almost couldn't. I refreshed the Wikipedia page and checked the links because I couldn't believe it. It's just so far out there.
It doesn't seem possible. It doesn't seem like there's no way you're doing that. And it's like, oh yeah, that's why it took so long. They were doing that. It's brutal, but we'll get to it when we get to it. This is probably gonna be a beefy episode. We're gonna try to keep it under 3 hours. So we have some notes here from our boy Tom Osman, so go support him. Everything taken from cardex.net, so straight from the horse's mouth. The thing is, the lore on this band, it's so much. There's the wiki pages are endless. They're huge. I don't know if I can't think of a recent band that we've covered that comes even close to having wiki pages as big as these.
I'm just so taken aback by what a big cult following this band has had, and that I would have never heard of them if I had not done this podcast.
That's fucking crazy to me, because me as well. It's insane.
No disrespect to Thinking Fellers, they're great, but I also understand where their place in the music world is. It's not fair, but I understand it. And this band is just so chaotic and been around for so long, and so many people influenced by that. I have no idea how I've never heard of this band, and it's nuts.
It is nuts. It especially when we've been listening to bad shit music for as long as we have. It's just you never know what's going to fly under the radar. You just never know. But we have now. And I'm sure the longtime fans of the pod are finally breathing sighs of relief. But from the website, going way back, it says at secondary school, Tim had a friend called Colvin Mayers. They were friends from the age of 5. We joined them now, age 14, in the playground at Fleetwood Secondary School, Chessington. Someone fat who they don't know yet bounds up to them all sweaty in a high-pitched, not broken yet voice, says something like, "I hear you like Mahavishnu Orchestra." And Colvin Mayers bursts out a shriek of high-pitched laughing. A little, it's like storybook. This the bio is it's very, these guys are English as fuck.
They do have a level of whimsy. It may be screwed up whimsy, but they do have a whimsy that comes through their music. And also, that's crazy being 14, listening to Mahavishnu. That was one of my bucket list episodes that unfortunately is not gonna happen. So I'm not surprised, but that's cool. The jumping off point was Mahavishnu Orchestra.
That is a good jumping off point. I've only heard like one album, I think, and it was because of you. So you spread that gospel onto me. So continuing, it says, it is Mark Cothra, and he would file his front teeth with a heavy-duty metalwork file, leaving bits of tooth all along it. He had just been expelled from his other school, and nobody ever found out why. No one knew why, huh? On the other side of the playground is Peter Tagg, hanging out with his older friends. All these people talked about so far would at one point or another end up playing in Cardiacs. Yeah, that's very much like the opening of a movie where it just shows them as kids real quick, and then it flashes forward to when they were teenagers, because that's where we are now. It says it's 1976, and Tim and his pal Adrian Borland, who at the time was in a punk band called The Outsiders, and later on fronted a band called The Sound. Check out our episode on The Sound. Tragic, sad.
So, man, that's one of those episodes where I'm like, we did that episode, huh?
We sure did. I've gone back to that band a lot since then. Yeah, nice. Yeah, they stuck with me. But it says an amazing rock drummer called Bruce Bisland, who ended up drumming for that glam rock band, The Sweet. Look at that.
Oh, also, that is one of the most drummer ass names I've ever heard of. Like, yep. There's something about it where I'm like, oh, he plays the drums. Like, if you just told me his name and I had to guess.
It's because we have Bill Bruford in our heads.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's that BB alliteration. Bruce Bisland make a band and do about 2 gigs, then stop. They sounded a bit like the rocky instrumental bits on that David Bowie album, The Man Who Sold the World, didn't they? They never gave their band a name either. It's now 1977. Tim Smith thinks Peter Tagg has got a whole drum set, and my brother Jim has got a bass, and I've borrowed a guitar. And Jim's friend McPugh has got a shouty voice. Maybe we should start our own pop group. So they did. Then they all go and write and play a song called Icky Qualms, and then a few more tunes emerge, bit by bit, usually written 10 minutes before each rehearsal time. Oops, we got a rehearsal today, better write a song, or something like that. Sometimes Peter Tagg's brother Derek would go along and shriek along to the songs, but really, really shriek, all high pitch, like a woman in a horror film will shriek. He did it at some early gigs too. The first Cardiacs gig was in 1977 at a place in Kingston up on Thames, Surrey, called the Kaleidoscope, a hostel for misfits in that. I wonder if that's at all how you pronounce any of those words. Thames, Surrey, I don't know, English or English. Derek shrieked along at that gig along with Colvin Mayers and Ralph Cade, the Cardiacettes, who then officially joined Cardiacs. Colvin playing an old synthesizer, and Ralph would just hold a saxophone they had no idea how to play and quote-unquote dance. They were called cardiac arrest back then. They didn't even know what cardiac arrest meant. Now that's crazy. Contrary to popular belief, they were never called Philip Pilf and the Filth. Why would they want to be called that? It is said that Tim formed the band merely as a revenge to take on his brother Jim for all the unkind things he would do to him as an infant. It is true. It all backfired for Tim, though. His cruel idea was to form a band playing a kind of unpalatable music that no one in their right minds would enjoy very much, thus humiliating his brother and forcing him to look as foolish as possible on stage. But Jim became popular, as did the band eventually, and at the concerts, Jim's name was and still is chanted with joy to this very day. Jim, Jim, Jim. It is said that Tim counts the Jims, and for each one, a different punishment is brought down upon his brother, who apparently has no idea why this is so. This is definitely not
insane.
A straight-faced bio. Okay, so in 1979, they recorded a single. I believe it's called Cardiac Arrest. I gave it a once-over before recording this. It's neat. It's not as obviously fine-tuned as things that we'll hear like just a couple years later, but it's still very, Devo-inspired, early ecstasy kind of stuff. Snappy, zany, but with less personality than they'll get. The Cardiac's personality isn't quite there yet, but it's still a neat little single. And this, about that, it says, not far away in a very tiny basement was a recording studio called Crow. Let's go there and record some of our tunes, someone probably said. This they did. They didn't know what they were doing, and the recording sounded very bad, and the band were as happy as Larry. These English phrases and terms. Who's Larry? Why is he so happy? God damn it. So happy, in fact, that they released the recordings on a cassette album called The Obvious Identity. It's about 1980 now, by the way, and they would find any old or worn out cassette tapes to copy the albums onto for sale at their few and far between gigs. Such was the quality control. The recordings were so shit, it wouldn't matter if they were copied onto washing up sponges, someone later said, probably. Jesus Christ. Okay, so Colvin leaves to join Adrian in the Sound, which, that's a whole other beast on its own. And then they put out some cassettes. The third cassette is going to be the first thing we're covering here, which is the Seaside. There's a lot of things, a lot of songs and stuff scattered all over, but we're trying to keep it as coherent as possible. So we're going to start with the Seaside. So it's the most abridged, sped through thing because there's just not enough time to dive into every single detail. And also, we're reading their very, very obviously tongue-in-cheek synopsis of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure there's someone with like an actual biography out there who took it more seriously. But this is whatever. Who cares? We were having fun.
Yeah, I would like to read like a proper book about them.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no shortage of insanity. But today we're covering how many total? 8 records total. Some of them very lengthy. First one is the aforementioned cassette from 1984. And most recently, last Friday. So, 2025. Yeah, so I guess let's do it. You ready?
As ready as I can be.
Indeed. This is 1984's The Seaside. So this wasn't, since I told you late, this wasn't the first thing you heard from them. This was the first thing I heard from them.
Okay, yeah, this was like the second or third thing.
I was already kind of delighted by some of the twinkliness of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great, almost like proof of concept demo or tape or what have you.
I would say it's if this is a demo, it's the best demo ever made. I mean, listen to this shit. It's so fine-tuned already.
Chaotic. Also, like what phone sounded like that in the 80s?
English ones? You know they have a different ring when you call someone, like what you hear?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this rules.
Yeah, and then it's like here, it's like, oh, if you like Oingo Boingo, you would like this part of the song, but maybe not the parts we just heard.
Hold that thought, because I want to comment on that.
Oh, the guitarmonies. I wasn't expecting guitarmonies either.
This song has already done 700 things, and each one cool.
Yeah.
I love it. I fucking love it. Oh my God. I can't even... Yeah, I have to lower it. So you just said the thing about Oingo Boingo. I was talking to a buddy of ours, and I was telling him, just give him like a brief rundown. Like, I'm listening to this band, blah, blah, blah. And I said, like, they're amazing. Like, I mean, one of the best bands I've heard in a while. And he's like, oh, yeah. Well, like, he asked about them. And I said, they're like if Oingo Boingo was an amazing band instead of a completely average one. Because Oingo Boingo's first EP is amazing. Their first album is fine. And I think everything else is boring as shit. And this is like, oh, yeah. These guys are amazing songwriters from the beginning. I mean, crazy.
I'm going to sit this one out because I haven't heard enough Oingo Boingo to really...
I heard a lot of Oingo Boingo.
Yeah, I know I like Danny Elfman, so... Danny
Elfman rules. Oingo Boingo, I have problems with them. So this, I heard this, and instant fan. I was in love with this. I love this cassette album thing, whatever. I think it's damn near flawless. It's just so delightful. It's so completely unexpected. It's so confident. It's going so hard in what it's doing. It does remind you of Oingo Boingo stuff. It does remind you of early Ecstasy and Devo and all sorts of the wacky kind of post-punk stuff for sure. But it's going so hard.
Yes. Also, it's weird. Despite all the wacky zaniness, I would rarely describe their stuff as fun.
Really? I use that word countless times in my notes.
I will say, though, the second song, though, Gina Lola
Brigia,
that is fun and less chaotic sounding.
It is indeed fun. Yeah, it's fast and pep. There's a lot of words I'm going to be reusing: zany, wacky, crazy, peppy, fast.
Yeah, I mean, because it comes at you with such speed and intensity, there really is only so many words you can try to use to describe this insanity.
Because it would be even more useless to try to describe what the songs sound like or where they go or what. Oh, then this section comes on. Then this, like that's okay. Then fucking describe death metal for me. It's pointless. You can't. There's no. It does a bunch of shit. Like that's you got to kind of like summarize it in a way that's just more of a cohesive whole. Like what does this record do as a whole or cassette, whatever. And the writing, I think, is just stellar. Like these riffs are genuinely interesting, memorable riffs that are like, oh, this is unexpected. It's wacky, but it's also not just a bunch of random notes. Whereas later on, if you're not paying attention, later on, if it's on in the background, it's going to sound like a bunch of random notes. I learned that, but almost like A/B testing, where I was distracted listening to, or I was driving or doing something, listening to an album, and I liked it less than when I was just sitting there doing nothing. So it's that kind of thing.
I do not want to try to listen to this band while driving yet.
It is very dangerous. But yeah, kooky. I mean, so much kookiness, so much zaniness, so much speed. There's saxes and synths. It's jam-packed. It's all so jam-packed.
I do notice this one incorporates a bit more electronic sounds than we'll hear on the next album, which I thought was interesting. Like, the electronics will be there throughout their career, but they're kind of reeled in a little bit.
Yeah. Later on, it becomes like that wall of sound thing, that big, outer space sounding production. Whereas this, you could hear that it's a band. It's a bunch of fucking people playing on it for sure. But it still feels like individual textures. You can still like, oh yeah, that's the sax, that's the clarinet right there. These are the keys right there. Mm-hmm. It makes more sense. You could kind of spot things easier later on. Even there'll be like a string section, and I can't tell if it's strings with synth, strings by themselves, or strings just produced. Like it just sounds instruments bleed into other instruments.
There's a great example of that on their last album. If anyone wants to hold on to that for 2 hours or whatever, I'll bring it up.
Put a little timestamp right now, and then we'll come back to it. So yeah, what else to even say about this? I mean, every song. I love every song.
It's a Lovely Day is the most like prog math thing on here. Very like dizzying riffs. I will say there does seem to be a format here where it's like, okay, we have the weird insanity song and then like a fun upbeat song. Like they seem to go back and forth between that.
Right. I see what you're saying. Because of Gibber and Twitch and Gina Lollobrigida is just one the first example.
Yeah, and then it's like It's a Lovely Day, A Wooden Fish on Wheels.
Right.
Although I guess Hope Day is they have the murder clown horns or synths. Like Danny Elfman would never write that. So.
There's a lot of things that you do feel he might write though, or he could write if he was on a lot more drugs.
He could write that, but he probably has some. He's still a madman, but he probably has some inkling of self-control where he's like, I won't go that far.
That's crazy. I'm not going to do that. Says the guy with bright red hair and crazy devil eyes and tats all over.
In his 70s playing electric guitar shirtless. Fucking amazing.
I don't think there's a person alive on our earth right now that looks as scary as Danny Elfman's face. I mean, holy shit.
Insane. Yeah. When I go watch John Carpenter in November, he better be performing shirtless because
John Carpenter? I hope so.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a man to look at. He's aging gracefully, unlike this weird alien non-aging thing that is Danny Elfman. I mean, he's aging, but just in not a version of time that we have in our dimension.
A bizarre way. We do get RES on here, which will come up on the next album. I think it's pretty much the same.
It's basically So this is the early version of RES. It's basically the same. I didn't. Maybe there's subtle differences, but I couldn't catch it with just 2 listens. I mean, it's gonna be hard. It's really hard with 1 listen of each album. You're not gonna retain shit. 2 listens, you retain bits and pieces. You retain like the breadth of it. You need 7 to 8 to 9, probably 20 listens of each of these albums to really hold on to them. But there's A lot of things in these early days that I quite enjoyed. Like they still do it a lot later on, but like the soloing. I mean, you can't even call them solos. They're not like solos.
Or they're
like traditional solo.
They're like over before you know it, which I guess you could say about everything in this band.
It's more like the succession of just seemingly random notes that go on and on and on, like leads of crazy random notes that go. So you brought up It's a Lovely Day, and I think there it reminded me a lot of Ill in the Head by Dead Kennedys, which is, like, oh yeah, that's like that amazing kind of like super paranoid, spastic, crazy riff where it's like, oh, it's a bunch of random notes, but it's really its own, like it doesn't feel random. It feels like that's what it is. It's this thing. That's what that song does for me.
Yeah. It's wild. I do think it's interesting. The last song on the album, To Go Off and Things, is more of the. It's still weird, but it is one of their more rock driven, like guitar driven songs on here.
It is also a little. It's always jarring when they do something a little bit simple. I mean, relatively simple, not human being simple.
It's the only band that can play something simple, and you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Like, whoa, what the fuck is this? That's crazy, dude. They're playing only 4 notes in this riff.
Get that away from me.
Yeah, get out. But RES, even this early, is fantastic. The intro to Ice a Spot and a Dot on the Dog, really, it reminds me of like a prog version of the Beavis and Butthead theme. Yeah.
Dude, I started watching the latest season. I watched the newer ones, and like I like them, but like I was like, dude, these new ones should not be this funny.
That's encouraging.
There's an episode where Butthead because they have like different versions of Beavis and Butthead now. So there's ones where they aged in real time, so they're like old men. And Butthead has like a heart attack, and Beavis tries to go and get help, but he's Beavis, so he doesn't.
Yeah.
And then this woman finds Butthead, and she's like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Is there anything I can do for you?" And he's like, oh, "Yeah, you could do me." I'm like, it's so simple. It's so simple.
It's still good.
It's still. Oh man, this makes me laugh. I don't know. It's like it shouldn't be funny. Surely I've aged past this humor, but yeah.
If it's still good, it's still good. God damn it. But also, Hope Day is really like the epic of the album, and yeah, man, it's just I was just floored by the writing.
I think every song is good, but like if I had to say like just 3, Gibber and Twitch, It's a Lovely Day, and Hope Day, like I think that's a pretty good, like gives you a pretty good idea of what this band is and where they're going.
Yeah, I mean not really a debut exactly, but for the purposes of this and the fact that was the first thing I heard, I guess, I mean it's unbelievable. The musicianship is mind-blowingly good. Like they're so good. We've covered so many proggy, crazy, talented bands, but like this is ridiculous. Like the level of tightness and the intricacy of how many things they're doing and how perfectly they're doing. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
I'm really looking forward to looking up some live footage of the band.
Indeed. Let's see what this whole chunk says. This is pretty nuts. It says in 1983, William D. Drake was spotted by Tim Smith playing the piano in a small back room of a public house. William was accompanied by a girl singing her heart out and playing the trumpet. Her name was Lindsay Lawrence. She played the trumpet on the Seaside. Tim, liking William's music, quickly wrote out a tune on a bit of paper and stuck it in front of William. Play that, he probably snapped. After William had effortlessly played the tune, Tim told him that, like it or not, he was now in Cardiacs. William wasn't sure what he meant by this, but found himself in the band anyway.
On the wiki, it like kind of brings it up, but if you see it, you see it. If not, it's not a big deal. Apparently, there's the alphabet business concern is like this whole mythology and mythos they like developed and subscribed to. So
yeah, that's apparently the name of their label.
Yes, yeah.
So that's a whole. We're not even going to get into any of that. There's just too much. There's too much here. Unless it comes up here. Yeah. I mean, my God, I can't believe this.
No, I understand.
Really deep.
I was just like, what do they mean by like me? Like, so I'm just, if it comes, yeah. This is from Wikipedia. There are links, but in March 1987, the British tabloid newspaper Sunday Sport ran a story claiming to be an expose and revealing the supposedly incestuous relationship between Tim Smith and Sarah Smith, in which the couple were portrayed as brother and sister. The headline ran, "In their bizarre world of music, anything goes, even incest." The article was ultimately debunked, by Tim's mother. And then the manager was like, "No, this is great. We can run with this." And it's something that we saw with the White Stripes on our White Stripes episode.
Right. The originators of hey, let's just play with a little incest and get some eyeballs on us.
Well, I guess it was the Cardiacs.
Yeah. I see on the wiki though the headline too. It's like a news clipping. I mean, we're brother and sister. I mean, it's it's just so stupid. Oh man! But I mean it's around this time period. It brings us to the compilation we're covering, which is of course Songs for Ships and Irons, and it compiles the Big Ship EP. There's Too Many Irons in the Fire 12-inch, and then the B-sides of Susanna's Still Alive 12-inch. And apparently there's a bonus track on there, a bonus song on there as well. So I mean, this is basically a full album on its own. It's album length. It feels like an album. It sounds like it was all recorded in the same time period. It's kind of appropriate to cover it as an album. So are you ready for that one?
I'm so ready.
Hell yeah. This came out in 1991. Although the Big Ship EP came out. Oh man, I got to do this in thorough detail. Big Ship EP came out in 1986. The Too Many Irons in the Fire came out in 1987. And the Susanna Still Alive was 1988. So time to cover that now. Comp came out in 1991. This is Songs for Ships and Irons. Big old 80s energy.
So funny. I know you don't like Murder City Devils, but like this part made me think of Murder City Devils.
I haven't heard enough. I only heard them that one time. I'm not done.
That's all you need. That's all their songs. Like,
maybe not. Great riff. Great progression though. It's long too. This is already where you're seeing like, these are just long progressions.
Yeah, it's always nice to hear like a more straightforward song from them.
I'm feeling very striking. It's taken to my liking.
And yeah,
it's a fine man who cuts his breath.
I like Tim's snarly vocals because he does refine his voice a bit.
Yeah.
Or he develops more like a unique thing, but like the snarly stuff's good.
Yeah. He goes through a few different changes in the early days. Right here, you could hear his voice more.
Of course, there's not as much vocal layering.
Also, you said a lot of it in the intro. Like, I would have never guessed this was a compilation of EPs and B-sides. Like, this is probably one of the best comps for like B-sides I've heard. This sounds like a complete cohesive album that was recorded in one period.
Absolutely. It sounds just like an album. It flows together so well. You could, if you pick at it, you can find like, oh yeah, that's where it ended. This is where the next thing starts. The pacing is not perfect. But even then, with a band this crazy, it's hard to do that because all their albums are very like, they end things when you don't think they're going to end, and they pick up things where like that. How does that come? It's always that kind of spastic. So the pacing here feels fine. It's a great comp.
It is. It's a great comp. This feels like an album. They truly are the human centipede of music. You just don't know where one ends and another begins.
And it's just as beautiful too. Oh goodness. So aside from that, like as a whole, comparing this to the cassette, obviously more refined and simpler. Although that opening track is not a fair representation to say like, oh, they're all that one's a little bit more epic. Even like the long outro has hints of Marconi on there, which we'll get a lot later on as well. And it's just more of an epic kind of bombastic intro. But it quickly goes back to the crazy wackiness. I mean, Tarred and Feathered.
Yes. Of course, this band has a song called Tarred and Feather. Yeah, that is one of their most clown songs ever.
Cartoon music, straight up cartoon music.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah. Then I like that Burn Your House Brown. I like that more. And it's evil without being like overtly evil. It's like more sinister. It feels like it's like bubbling to the surface.
I found it to be a little campy, but horror campy. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, sure. I mean, camp is in this band's DNA.
For sure. And that one also gave me a lot of the Danny Elfman, where it's like, okay, it's that kind of horror camp with Danny Elfman style, and it's still super satisfying with these really great sections. I mean, and there's the final chunk with that big goop vocal and kick drum break. There's just so many interesting little moments. But it all has this layer of shine on it, this big 80s energy to it, and it feels completely different than the cassette. It's not, that one's more raw, more snappy. This one still has the zany kookiness, but it's they're already getting shinier. They're already getting they're getting carried away with the production already.
I would say this one's a bit moodier, and like nothing on that first thing I would describe as surreal outside of like the experience of listening to it, but like the music doesn't sound surreal. But like this one on a song like Loose Fish Scapegrace, God, they're even the songs are fucking weird and awkward to say.
Yes, very awkward.
Like that is it's just like probably their first like epic song, and they do have plenty. They have no shortage of that as we go along. And yeah, it's just, it feels so trippy. Around like 4:30, they have this like anxiety inducing part, and it's like this escalating, and then it just like gives way to this like mellow saxophone briefly, and then it's like kind of heavenly, and then we end with some like really like, I think they were like good like guitar harmonies, and man, what a fucking insane song.
Crazy song. There's a break around 5:20 that's stunningly beautiful.
I think that's the heavenly part I was talking about.
Exactly. So while they definitely kind of bombard you with absolute circus bullshit, and it's in the best way, when they go beautiful, it's like, oh man, they go so hard into the beautiful and creating this the way. This is perhaps the most majestic band in the world. Like when they get triumphant and majestic, they fucking lean into it, and it's like that's like the absolute commitment to every style on every album. It's like, yeah, these guys were absolutely on all drugs. I mean, there's no way you're going that hard.
It's
drugs. So crazy.
It's like the Mr. Burns thing in The Simpsons, but with drugs.
Yeah, that's they were coherent because they took too many, and it's just great. So the Big Ship EP, it's the first 5 tracks. So it ends with Plain Against the Grain, which is a little bit more of an outro than it is anything else. And then Everything Is Easy is a bonus track that was included. After that is the remaining 12 inches. So
that's what she said.
So what I mean, everything is like, again, to specify like, oh, this song does this. It's like, it's not gonna translate. You have to, it's too weird. It's too interesting. It's
an example of like how they're unique and thinking unlike anybody else is Stone Age Dinosaurs, where it's a darker song. It's perhaps a little more simple than what we've been accustomed to. And I was taken aback by the decision to bring a saxophone into that song because it is kind of dark, but the saxophone still works. It doesn't, where like a lot of sax in the 80s maybe would have distracted from the song or taken away from it. It's perfect on here.
They're one of the very rare bands in the 80s to implement saxophone and sax solos that aren't weirdly sexual and cringy and silly sounding.
I think because they're so committed to the circus music, which is inherently silly, and they've embraced it, that when you bring on the saxophone, you're like, oh, this is classy compared to these like clown organ synths I've been listening to.
Yeah, for the past 40 minutes. It's crazy. Yeah, so it actually is tasteful. It feels tasteful. It's crazy. And I think Blind and Safety and Leafy and Love, it's just like elegant. Like some of these piano lines and stuff. Like, it's just, oh, this is just beautiful stuff.
Yeah, they have these like because it will repeat. I almost call them like ballroom songs. If you think of like you're watching like a movie that takes place in like the Victorian era, and they go to like a dinner party and they have the bands playing this like music for the fancy dinner party. Like they do. It's so funny that they do these songs, but they, make them the cardiacs.
Yeah. Yeah, they cardiacify them, and they make them completely insane, but so tight and so just wiry.
Yeah, I do think we get their first like foray into like psychedelia with There's Too Many Irons in the Fire.
Great song, man. Oh man.
Also, I love it. Nothing is ever like firmly psychedelia or firmly surf music. It's always, it's there. They will take it away from you. They will bring it back. It's like, that's just the closest thing I can call it.
Yeah. Yeah. They when they go psychedelic, they do their thing with it. They do their thing with it. And it's never just, we're going to just zone out and trip out and jam out. It's never like that. You never think they're just jamming out. Everything feels very deliberate. But yeah, this is a great comp. And a worthy, it's basically their second album. I mean, it just feels like that. But time to move on to their first actual album. We're an hour in and we're getting to the first album.
Well, that's 2 down, 6 more to go.
Indeed. So this is 1988's A Little Man in a House and the Whole World Window.
This, I was sold within moments. Already incredible. Those horns, those strings. A movie would be lucky to open with this.
Should do like a Roald Dahl inspired movie with Cardiac's music.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So this song does so many things, goes so many places. It's so good. It's like upsetting how good it is.
Leaving early just before the hour. A few months.
I was doing like whimsical British vocals.
Anyway,
the level of English that this band gets is damn near offensive. It's like they're a poster card. Poster card. That's not even a word. A poster child. A postcard. They're a shining example of English pride. Of like everything about the culture and like the folk stories, the music, like everything that makes the culture. This is the band, but just on ecstasy and LSD and everything else.
They are like the Wicker Man of. Like what the Wicker Man is to horror is kind of what the Cardiacs are to prog music, I guess.
So is that a Nicolas Cage joke or? Oh, hold on. It's so good.
I'm not even exaggerating that this is this circus music.
Yes, it's because of the big drums.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's an English thing. So whenever they do that, I always go English over circus, but it is very circus. I mean, also we have to move on, but Jesus Christ, that song is just so perfect.
Also, no, not the Nicolas Cage version. The fucking Christopher Lee one.
I've never seen the Christopher Lee one. I'm so angry because I've been wanting to watch it for maybe like a decade now. I never got around to it.
I think it's kind of boring, but I can appreciate the contributions to folk horror that it is a zany horror movie with like musical numbers in it.
It has musical numbers in it?
It has musical so like brace yourself when you watch it that there are musical numbers in it. But anyways,
holy crap, I was not expecting that, dude.
Because this was my first thing I've ever heard from them, and you can't take that away from me. This is my personal favorite because it just left such an impression on me where I almost didn't want to listen to the other albums because I wasn't ready to leave this one yet. So this is my personal favorite.
And it is my personal favorite as well. I love this. This was like, holy shit, dude. This is my new favorite band. I mean, because at the I listened to these in weird order. I screwed up the order when I was listening to this. So the first thing I listened to was the Seaside, and then I heard this right after. Going from the Seaside to this right after, it was like, oh, this band is just. They went from putting out this. I was in love with the Seaside, and then this comes. I was like, how is it like that, but so much better? I mean, it's not. I can't even say so much better. It's just moving in everything is just more finely tuned. Everything is more developed. Everything is more much better produced. Everything's fleshed out. The orchestral elements are fucking perfect, as we heard on that opener, and it's just it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievably good.
Yeah. It is unbelievable. I can't believe this album exists. In a City Lining, he does bring back some of the like punk inksy vocals. It is like I think where the opening track has this epic quality to it, like In a City Lining is like blending in that circus music with like punk and new wave.
Yeah, and he even uses that ska drum beat, kind of like what we heard a lot on Ecstasy and the earlier Ecstasy stuff. There's a lot of like jumping from thing to thing for sure. And then I'm Eating Bad. I mean, it comes in. Absolutely sound like a cartoon theme song. But Jesus,
just
like
chaotic, drunken clown music. It made me think of Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Tarkus album, where like that album has some wacky elements, but like they stop themselves from going there. So
it reminded you of ELP. It reminded me of the Stonecutters song from The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's accurate too.
Yeah, it's like a lot of Danny Elfman wackiness for sure, but the circusness of it, I think is just fucking wonderful.
Any cartoon music is an apropos comparison to this band.
Pretty much. And I mean, what else can you possibly say? That it's super English sounding. There's a lot of Danny Elfman. It's very spastic. It's very, at times, very bombastic. But
I think the single, let me double check, was In This Life, which I get why it was a single.
Oh, is this the life?
Is that what it's called? Is This the Life? Which was a single, which I understand, but it's also not a good representation of the album because it is perhaps the most normal song on here, and you could see that one. You can hear where like Faith No More pulled stuff from.
Yeah, because Faith No More are obviously big fans. Not obviously, I learned that recently, but they are big fans. Yeah, Is This Alive? Big 80s riff on that one. It's probably the most normal sounding. I mean, it's probably why it was picked as a single, honestly. You put on some fucking circus music as like, hey, check out our band. Although, I mean, they did fine. So I don't know.
They did actually wear clown makeup while performing. Like they knew what they were doing.
And they did it better than any other band. I mean, holy crap. Well, although Mr. Bungle did wear like clown bullshit like in the very beginning too, and they were as tight. So
I was going to say, I think the bar for bands that wear clown makeup's like pretty bare. It's like ICP.
Yeah, maybe not our bag personally, but they certainly have. They certainly clown it up for sure.
Hey, remember when someone sent us Faygo one time?
Yeah, it was a listener / fellow podcaster. He sent us some Faygo because I told him I never tried it. That we drank it on an episode, and I didn't like it at all.
Fucking awful.
It was pretty bad. But yeah, even the interlude here rules. It's medieval ass sounding horns.
That is very British.
Oh, it's so. When they lean into it, it's not just we're kind of reminiscent of English folk music where like, the drums and then the medieval sounding progressions. He'll just go on this fucking soliloquy thing in the heaviest English accent you've ever heard. And that's how the song will start, with this just rant. And it's just a lot of choices that it's like, oh yeah, it's like, I believe it was an interview with like Roger Waters talking about Syd Barrett. And he was saying like, oh, he was so like, he was talking about how English he was in his music, like how his lyrics and how his cadences. It was a very English thing. It was like, it was almost beautiful in the way that it was English, because like very sing song. Like just if you look at the first Pink Floyd album and Syd Barrett's solo stuff, it is very extremely English. The choice of words he's using, the phrases, it's all. That's what I think of this. It's like, oh, it's just so much of that. Like you forget that, because they're all white people who speak English, that, oh, it's just the West. It's all the West. But it's like, no, they're their own thing. It's like, it's such a unique, distinct thing that we just kind of ignore because they look like us and kind of sound like us.
And the food's fucking shit, mate.
Except Gordon Ramsay. He rules and his food's great.
Fucking eating beans for breakfast. What a bunch of crazy people.
I've eaten a lot worse things for breakfast, dude.
On purpose, or this because it was your own
necessity, dude? Grew up broke.
That's different.
Yeah, true. But yeah, the icing on the world, more that's more the cinematic, big, giant, bombastic stuff.
Yeah, they do like their waltzy stuff. You get these fast hi-hat beats. Speaking
Victory
of
egg.
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of the breakfast line. Yeah, I kind of thought like, okay, I know what this band is serving up, but nope, it's just still taken aback by that song. Yeah,
there's a long ass break with these strings. It's so unexpected. It comes out of nowhere, and it's so interesting. It was by that song, because it's what track is that? It's track 7 out of 10, and by that song, I thought, okay, this song rules. I love this band. Like they're gonna keep doing shit like this, and I already knew they were like, every album is gonna keep doing something like this, where you think you know what they're doing, and then it'll just come up with something else, and it doesn't have to be this wildly different thing. It's just they just have a way of keeping you on your toes.
Absolutely. I do like splitting the album title into 2 different tracks. I don't know.
Oh, the closer and opener. I've never seen that.
Yeah, and the closer's almost this jazzy ballad at times. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful and perfect closer.
Beautiful, perfect closer. Absolutely. It's bookended very nicely. It flows so nicely. The whole thing is just it's a perfect little package. And then this version of RES, it's just sounds better. I mean, it's the same song.
I agree.
It fits in just as well as the rest.
I kind of like skipped over talking about it because, this is very unique percussion. You get this like zany 80s kids music stuff, and then they just throw a guitar solo in there, but it's so cool and it's so welcomed.
Yeah, because like that main recurring little keyboard line, like it's like, oh, this is a cute little fun thing. It's pretty catchy. And then when the vocals come in, bass goes heavy, and that bass line when the vocals come in, it's just such a that's such a great choice. It's just smart arrangement choice to make the bass drop an octave there. Like, oh, fucking awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this album is just fucking perfect. It's a juggernaut of an album. I mean, god damn it. I think every album is great and has very little problems. This one is just like instant fan maker. I mean, good God Almighty, this album's good.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it just left such an impression on me.
So this from the website, it says Cardiac's manager Mark Walmsley. Man, the amount of L's and E's in there.
What's your name? Walmsley, isn't it?
Somehow managed to sort out the recording of this album. It was recorded at a studio called The Workhouse in the Old Kent Road in London. The studio belonged to Manfred Mann. It remains a mystery how this was paid for.
That's not a fucking name.
Manfred Mann? Manfred Mann. Manfred Mann.
Right said Fred.
It is, yeah, it's exactly that. Mark was an independent manager who had nothing to do with the Alphabet business concern, and this obviously didn't sit right with the consultant or the Alphabet business concern. And it's all caps every time they say that. Cardiacs have no idea how he came to end up managing them. They'd never even met him before. He allotted himself to the thankless task and did their best to avoid him thereafter. Mark recruited the band's loyal crew, including Big John Daniel, who was to become Cardiac's quote-unquote dad, and Mr. Murderer, who was to do Cardiac's live sound, and many other skilled people, too numerous to mention in this history. So that brings us to the next album. Are you ready?
I am ready.
This is 1989's On Land and in the Sea.
Great opening riff. I love that.
It's the opposite of the last opener. Just more in your face and meaner.
Meaner, snarly. Great bass though.
You fucking maniacs.
Maniacs. It's like you think the riff's gonna end, and then it keeps going, and then it's just 10 times as good. Those transitions are they're perfect transitions. Like the way they go from one riff to the next. It's not just we're gonna finish this riff 4 bars, and it's like these beautiful little subtle quick things. And then now we're doing that. So yeah, that's the band.
You think it's doing one thing and then it does a bunch of other things.
Yeah, this it's so funny how like now for me personally, like now it's like the albums are like overwhelming me. Like I don't hate them, but like they are kind of like pedal to the metal for a while here.
They sure are. And I'm not married to anything at all. I don't know what to pick. Honestly, I'm going to give this Worsley's favorite.
Okay.
For a very specific reason, because I think it's a great album. It's a step forward. I like this album a lot. Good to great songs throughout. I think no song is bad. I'm only giving it worst because this was the only album by the end of it I felt like this was really good. I know they can do better. Whereas like there was another album, and I also attribute that to following the last album, which is like it's so good that anything after that it's going to seem not as good. I mean, it's just unfair.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that because the other album that I had in contention for possible worst was following another great album. It's like, so these are, and when I went back to it, I listened to a different album and I went back to it way after, felt differently. I felt way differently. I liked it way more. The one song I thought I didn't like, I ended up like. So it's like the context is super important. How much time you have with it is super important. So I'm giving it worse because I have to. Really, this is a great album.
Sure. I think Baby Heart Dirt is wacky with a capital W. It dabbles in ska, and it's this. They're one of the few bands where like the 80s sound is part of their charm.
Yeah, it's just so original. So many of the riffs are just, you never heard that before. No one's ever done that before. And no one's even really come close. Prog bands don't make prog like this.
No,
it's just,
no.
It's that's so goofy and fun.
It's probably why the prog community doesn't. That's part of why some prog fans upset me, because I feel like they don't actually like prog, and for a music that is about like supposed to be about pushing boundaries, they sure do like things to fit in a neat little box. And
as they all do. And that was one of my favorite quotes from anyone ever was from Mike Watt in the We Jam Econo documentary, where he's talking about the early days of punk and how Minutemen just wanted to make whatever music they wanted to make, but the punks hated them because they didn't sound like hardcore. And he's in the van telling the story, and he's telling his story. He's like, how is this not punk? I mean, we're doing what we like. How is this not punk? What do you mean we're not punk? We're doing all stuff. It's not punk. And then he's driving, and he's like a long silence, and he just says, it just struck me as narrow-minded shit. It's like, yeah, even the counterculture, subculture, whatever thing, people are very predictable. They like the shit they like. You're gonna get you get the one sect who like expanding and trying new shit, and then you get the other sect who are just complaining that you're not doing what they like. So the same goes for prog, which also, last note about your point, we hate with a fiery passion the band Porcupine Tree. We don't like them. They're not for us. All right. We like prog music. Doesn't mean you have to like every fucking prog band. So with Steve Wilson, he's a huge fan, which is no surprise. So you'd think that fans of that kind of prog would at least be more open to this.
No, I remember going to watch Opeth, and High on Fire and Baroness were the openers, and there were like upset Opeth fans at both bands. And I'm like, you fucking animals, you're in the same room as Matt Pike, and I'm calling you a fucking animal. Like, get fucked.
Yeah. Seriously. Although he is our favorite animal, so
he is, outside of the Muppet animal, he is, because Brent Hines passed away, he is by default my favorite animal now.
Don't forget Road Warrior Animal, though.
I think he may have passed
He also did. Yeah, I forgot both of them died. But
well, there's still Wino, I guess.
I can't believe he's around. I mean, I love him to death. I'm so glad he's still around.
Insane. Anyways,
so yeah.
Oh, the duck and Roger. Wait, did I write that? I'm like, did I write that down?
Yeah. Yes, you did. The duck and Roger the horse.
God, so abrasive.
It's all over the place, dude. That song is nuts.
I would call that the love child of Mr. Bungle and Danny Elfman, but the problem is both those bands coexisted at the same time. So it's not even. It's just these
that's what
weirdos who are all kind of on the same wavelength.
That's what surprised me, was that they were peers of Bungle, because I think later on, like you get like Mike Patton talking him up, of course, and so I thought like, oh yeah, that makes sense, Patton being like a huge fan of this. But then I saw another thing saying that that these guys, I don't remember if it was a side project of Cardiacs, but they were heavily inspired by California, the Bungle album. It's like, oh yeah,
nice.
They're just passing like back and forth.
Exactly, which I feel like that's kind of common. Like Tribe Called Quest had like the native tongues thing with like De La Soul and Queen Latifah and others, where they like, oh, they're doing that and let's do that, or like D'Angelo was like doing that with like Erykah Badu and others. Sorry for the random comparison, but yeah. But some of the most brilliant musicians do that. They feed off each other.
Yeah, it's very nice to see. But what else? I mean, so I guess one of the few moments of levity. I mean, I say that lightly. Arnold, which
is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
One of my favorite songs on here.
It feels really good following the Duck and Roger the Horse because of how simple it is compared to it.
Yes, yeah. It's you need palate cleansers in this.
Yeah, so that's what makes the album is usually paced super well. It's just it doesn't. I mean, it bombards you, and it's going to exhaust you for sure, especially some of the longer albums. But it's not just fucking gauntlet of fast. There's moments. Although as a whole they are crazy. So if you're not already in the headspace for that, it's going to be pretty relentless.
There's a song called Fast Robert though that I thought I didn't care for at first, but it's one of those songs. The more it went on, it wore me down and won me over eventually.
That's what a lot of these do. Like they do the smart thing, which is like the Rite of Spring thing, the Stravinsky thing, which is like you can make the most complicated music in the world, but if you make it repeat enough times, it doesn't matter. So they do that a lot where they'll have this thing and it'll be so hard to follow, but they'll do it a million times. And it's like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool actually.
If any band deserved a Rite of Spring reaction of like causing people to go mad and insane, it's this band.
Honestly, like they cause a riot over the fucking choreography. And imagine if Cardiacs existed in the 20s or whatever the fuck.
The world wouldn't exist right now. It would just, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say the drummer, one of his like signature things is he busts out these like fast 16th notes, specifically on the Stench of Honey. And like I always associate like the quick, like fast 16th notes with like
what do you mean 16th notes?
Like a little
1-2 beat?
No, just like he'll do it on the hi-hat, just like
yeah.
Like real quick, and then like he'll leave it at the and I just like you hear that a lot in like rap music, specifically like a 3-6 Mafia or like those southern rap groups. That's like one of their favorite tricks, and I'm just like, that's so funny to hear that same little trick being employed in the Cardiacs.
Yeah, that is neat. That is more characteristic of like the early stuff. I think the drummer here was Dominic Luckman on this album, and later we get is it Bob Leith on like he becomes like their main dude. Yeah, and he has his own style that I'll talk about more detail for sure. But yeah, everybody is just so immaculate. And the thing I want to mention, Buds and Spawn, like, so that's one of the reasons I'm probably giving it worse. I like the song a lot. I think the highs are incredibly high. There are moments that lose me.
Too much ska music for you?
There's a lot of ska. I'm not too big on the ska for sure, but still, like, I have no real negative. Like, even though there's songs on here that didn't grab me as much as the last album, I can't point to things I didn't like so much. Like, there's just things that are difficult. There's things that are difficult and unusual, but a lot of it, it's still like, that's still pretty fucking cool. Like the horse head with like, I can only describe it as spidery percussion. I'm not sure exactly how you'd call it. We'd call that, but it's just little things here and there that still keep it interesting. But I think if I had to narrow down because again, I'm not gonna. This isn't the worst album. I mean, I don't know what the fucking worst album is, but the riffs just didn't grab me as immediately. Comparing it directly with the previous album. So if I listen to this right now, having not heard the previous album, like for a few days, I will probably like it a lot more. It's just the way it is. So it's just a victim of chronology, I guess.
I think that's fair. Yeah, like the one I gave worst to is simply because it has one or two songs I wasn't like enamored or they didn't feel as special as other songs. So I'm like, well, that's the one and it's still a good album. That's
how it is. It's like, yeah. I still like it. I guess I just don't love it the way I loved everything else. It's like, that's a pretty, it oddly makes these episodes the hardest because it's like, I mean, you can't really shit on anything. It's also the funnest, I think, but it's certainly a lot better than listening to a bunch of fucking Placebo albums.
Oh, that's for sure. Just as exhausting, but like it's different. It's different exhausting.
Indeed. So this from the website from this time period, it says between 1988 and 1989, Cardiacs recorded their album On Land and in the Sea at the Slaughterhouse Studios in Yorkshire. It was released in 1989. Mysteriously, both the workhouse and the slaughterhouse burned down shortly after Cardiacs had finished there. I wonder how true that is. I mean, because I don't know how true any of this fucking shit is.
I hope it was due directly to them.
That would be, yeah.
Not that they like caused it, but like, I don't know. All this crazy shit sure does seem to happen when you guys show up to town.
It sure does. I'm sure they also had something to do with some of the craziness. I mean, it's just, you don't just get drawn to that for nothing. And it says now it's 1990. The Alphabet business concern have well and truly secured their grip on Cardiacs. Cardiacs still don't really know who the Alphabet business concern are. It's really funny reading this when it's capitalized. It's full in all caps every time they say it.
Yeah.
They are somehow fooled into thinking that they, Cardiacs, are in control of their own doings, but it is clear to everyone else that they are not. Little Sarah Smith, formerly Cut, but now Smith. This was due to the consultant forcing her to marry Tim Smith as a punishment, saying he was to cover up a sordid story about the pair of them that was posted in a newspaper called the Sunday Sport. Left Cardiacs to be a full-time witch and live in the woods with the worms and some snails. An album was recorded in these very same woods under the name The Sea Nymphs. The Sea Nymphs were Tim Smith, Sarah Smith, and William D. Drake, who recorded another album together in secret some years before under the name Mr. and Mrs. Smith and Mr. Drake. I mean, this is all not true. I love it, but we're not learning anything here. It's just fun.
Well, no, like the Sea Nymphs are like...
I'm sure that's real.
Yeah.
But I mean, like her becoming a witch and also being forced to marry Tim.
You don't know that. All
right. Yeah, I guess I don't know that. A girl called Christian Hayes was brought in to take Sarah's place, but instead of turning up with a saxophone, she brought an electric guitar by mistake, so ended up playing that. A live concert called All That Glitters is a Mare's Nest was filmed in a spooky church in Salisbury that year, and it was little Sarah's last appearance with Cardiacs. It was also Tim Coy's last appearance. He was still very ill after the concert, and everybody thought he died, but he hadn't. He had, in fact, broken the nausea rule laid down by the Alphabet business concern several times that day, and so was disappeared. Alrighty.
So much lore.
I mean, clearly all factual evidence. That's for sure. So my worst, least favorite, and it's not even because it's my worst or least favorite. It's just because I really had no idea what to pick, and it's the only one that I wasn't super excited by the end, but still great. So are we ready to move on?
Oh, I'm ready because there's so much left.
There is so much left. We're still in like the early stages. Holy God damn.
There's basically 2 double albums coming up too. So like
in between the full regular albums. So here we go. This is 1992's Heaven Born and Ever Bright.
I will say I like their commitment
There be dragons
to looking like the creepiest dudes ever on their album covers.
Oh yeah.
And not in like a cool, evil way. Like
in a weird...
Like if you saw these guys on the street, you're like, get the fuck away from me.
Tim, even without like the crazy effects, he looked pretty nuts.
So British.
And this is returning from war music. I think it's great. It's beautiful though. It's like it's not.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Each of their openers has been pretty fucking wildly different.
For sure.
It's just too nice.
Yeah. Is it the most English thing ever? Absolutely. But it feels so good.
And this album is really turned up. Like after that is so high energy. It's so fast. they're kind of trading in the circus stuff for like weirder rock stuff.
Yes, this is the shift. It's not a full transformation, but it's like, oh, we're moving. Yeah, less still wacky, but not in the post-punky Devo kind of way, in this new way that I can't compare to anybody else.
Yeah, this is like if you listen to it and you're like, man, I wish these guys did more cocaine. This is the cocaine album.
I would say there's even more cocaine yet to come. There's so much more yet to come.
For sure.
Because this is where, like, I mean, this is so good. I love this album. So where do I even begin? So it's less wacky, but it's more majestic, bombastic, shiny, and themic, and moments that are like sleek. I think moments that are almost too sleek for its own good. That's like my only issue with this. But even then, I think the songs are still incredible.
Yeah, I would say it's more like rock music driven than, despite that opener, which works because it's the opener. Anything I Can't Eat, I was just like, that keyboard player is going so goddamn hard. And then unsurprisingly, the guitar player matches. There are no breaks on this album. You are on a roller coaster ride where it's just dropping you to the middle of the fucking earth. There's no up and down. It's just straight down, full speed.
It's so ambitious to everything. Well, every album they do is ambitious in its own way, but like it just keeps getting cranked with every album. Like the way guitar and keys match note for note, and they're doing just this, I mean, endless barrage of notes. It's just fucking, oh man. So the thing about this one that kind of separates it a little bit from maybe like the album, every album after this, is that this is like the true middle point where it's kind of moving in the songwriting direction of the later albums, with the rock driven, absolutely zany, completely unique Cardiac style. Whereas like everything before this is kind of its own version of Cardiacs. Everything after this is like Cardiacs. It's that songwriting style with the super shiny, big English 80s production of the first half. It's like a blending of both.
For sure. Like, despite all the insanity on here, there is a moment of brevity with Helen in Heaven where there are like acoustic guitars, which is always jarring. In this band, acoustic guitars are jarring. That's like feedback showing up in like an Elliott Smith song or something. But yeah, like the guitar parts on that, I'm like, oh, this could be like the Cure or the Smiths if the Cardiacs weren't cool.
Although, even though those bands are cool, they're just not as cool.
Yeah.
Hell in Heaven is, I love it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's like the ballad pretty much. And there's just so many things, like, because when I say spacey vocals, it's hard to exactly describe what I mean by that, because it's like they're psychedelic, they sound spacious while also sounding psychedelic and layered. I mean, there's too many. It's hard. It's too hard of a band to fucking describe. You can't really describe how it sounds.
Going on.
It's so many things going on.
One of my favorite, my favorite song on the album is Body's Bad. It's like the most math rock riff I've heard on here. It's amazing.
That song, it's great. It's a great song. It's a song that at that point in the album, or if you're just a casual listener, which is a shudder at the thought of a casual Cardiacs listener. That song, it's like,
I like imagine saying like, oh, I like some songs. I like some songs.
A couple songs. There's one or two songs I like. You could argue. So for that song, you could argue that it's not much different than the rest, but there's just something about it that I like more than most of the songs. Like, it's one of my favorite songs in the album too.
Sometimes it is like that gut feeling where your gut is like, this just feels like it's executed better, and it touches a part of your soul. There's no like quantifiable way to say it's better. It's just to your ears, it's better.
Yeah, there's so many things that they do, and it's like I don't know. There are things where I thought I didn't like, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of dipping out of this, and it's only because I wasn't paying attention. And as soon as I was paying attention, I thought like, oh wait, I'm like activating my brain, almost solving this riff like a puzzle. Like it's so much more engaging if you're focused on it. I mean, it's just too much. It's just too much. It's just overwhelming band.
This band aged me. I'm 50 years old now.
Yeah. It sure feels. I mean, mainlining all these albums in like 5 days is fucking crazy.
It's like you're McConaughey in Interstellar. You took a trip to some planet and you didn't realize how time and space works. And I came back and my kids were all grown up. I didn't even know I had kids. They're all grown up and
yep.
They're
I neglected them. They're
older than me
really
now.
resentful.
I missed their marriages, their childhoods. They have kids. It's fucking weird.
It's pretty weird. And all I got out of it was a giant wave.
It's heartbreaking. Yeah. Other songs I really enjoy on here. For Good and All, interesting. I would think I'd think about more video games with this band, but this is like really the only song, or like it's like sped up Yellow Magic Orchestra music with guitars. It's really it's another really strong song, I think.
Yeah, it's strong. Is it exhausting? Absolutely. Is it great? Yes, also. It's like because it's going in that when it goes, you know, it has a lot of moments where it uses triumphant marching kind of music, similar to the opener. But then it peppers in all these crazy little melodies, and it's just all so impressive. Like there's this extremely alt rock sounding section there with like this almost 90s quintessential 90s drum beat. It's like they just never run out of unusual shit to try.
No, not at all. I don't know where they find all these sounds, although, you know, we are in the age where like these weird bands we listened to for like a while when we were covering more new music. Man, kids these days love the glockenspiel, so like it's kind of gone full circle. Like the Cardiacs are this way far ahead of everybody else.
Indeed. And then the closer, Snakes Are Sleeping. One of my favorite closers from them.
I thought it was just going to be a cutesy little quick outro, and because this album is all gas, no breaks, I'm so glad that closer has like these peaks and valleys to it. Like they are a band that really understands albums, and yes, they're going to be exhausting. They may be a little long, but I don't think any of these songs this end up like in random places. It's not like, oh fuck, where do we put this? Like I feel like the band really thinks about the placement of every song.
Yes, you totally feel that the albums flow with that sort of feeling in mind. And Snakes Are Sleeping, man, it's just too damn good. The vocals are so textured and angelic and interconnected, and there's a whole break section around 5:30, which kind of leads into the end of it. It's like the final chunk of the song. It's how do you describe it? It's the ending of the song. I know. So it's around 5. The full track. How long is the actual? It's the full track.
It's pretty beefy. It's 8 minutes and 25 seconds.
Yeah. So the ending of the song starts around 5.5 minutes. So it's a full 3 minutes of fading out essentially. But it does this thing. It's this subtle little hit with a bunch of space and radio static sounds, and it just keeps repeating. It just keeps repeating over and over again, and then eventually drums drop out, and then other instruments drop out one by one. It just keeps repeating this one little, like almost like one note. It's this tiny little thing with a bunch of space. It does it for fucking 3.5 minutes, and it just had this effect on me. Like, this is one of the greatest endings of an album ever. And then when it's finally fading out with the slowest fade out ever, bam! In the final 20 seconds, a bunch of fucking noise and a bunch of crazy shit. It's just, masterclass on a closer, really.
Yes. Complete mad men and occasionally a mad woman in the band.
Indeed. So yeah, this is great. I mean, this band is great, but holy shit, this album is fucking nuts. So from the website, let's see what other wonderful tidbits they have for us now. It says several months later, it was realized that Christian Hayes was not a girl after all, just a strange looking boy. Upon this discovery, he felt he had to leave Cardiacs and joined Levitation, a band he'd formed in secret with among others, Terry Bickers, who had just left the House of Love because he was insane. The remainder of Cardiacs, not knowing what to do, sat and awaited orders from the Alphabet Business Concern, but no orders came. William D. Drake took this opportunity to jump ship and went missing without a bag, and so Cardiacs were now just Tim and Jim Smith and Dominic Luckman. They sat and waited for what seemed like an eternity for any instructions. Finally, they came through, and Cardiacs were told to write and record an album in glorious praise of the Alphabet Business Concern. They were told that the album must be called Heaven Born and Ever Bright. This they did, and their hearts were lifted and filled with awe and power. They found a guitarist to take Christian's place. John Poole was his name. Being not quite right was his game. But Cardiacs were now a proud four-piece. To think that this is they always had a bunch of members, but every album sounds like they have 27 members.
Yeah, it's crazy. Looking at the credits, I thought it'd be like layered with all these like different musicians, but like surprisingly not that many.
Yeah, for sure. I also refrained from looking at any critic reviews of any of these albums because I'm just don't want anything to kind of tinker with me listening to the band. And it's not, they're mostly pretty well received, very well received, which is nice to see, except this album. This one, 7, this one's like average for them. 7 out of 10s, 3 out of 5s, 2 out of 5. Like, I don't know where they're getting that from. I mean, this is like clearly an evolution and a fucking great album.
Yeah, I think I can't even like fully wrap my head around the music, let alone other people's reaction to the music. So yeah, I'm not gonna try.
It's too you almost can't get mad at people for not liking it because it is fucking crazy. I can get mad at people for not appreciating it. I can get mad at that.
Oh, you're mad the Lovecraftian monster drove you insane? The exact same thing we told you it would do?
Yes, this is the Lovecraftian beast of all prog music.
It really is. It really is.
Oh my God. And we're on to our first massive album of that. So are you ready?
Not really, but yeah.
We're going to have to be ready. We're doing it, baby. This is 1996's Sing to God.
So fucked up on paper. We only have 3 albums left, but
it's like 6.
It's like 6.
Subtle intro.
I don't know if we'll get to it, but like, I love how bizarre these like backing vocals are.
Oh yes. So I could have put on track 2 because it comes in faster. It's like the more of an opener, but I think this needs to be heard. Like, because there's something when you hear this, like something's coming. You feel like something's coming.
Well, something's always coming.
Yeah. Incredible progressions.
These
chipmunk vocals.
What I assume is an army of almost like Children of the Corn type children.
Yeah.
This is
Man, it's just so fucking good. Another completely unique opener for them too.
waters It's always welcome.
Waters.
Yeah. I love his voice too. So let's just put on track
2 just to give a taste, because this is more.
It comes in so hard.
We're in Cardiac's territory.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so excited to hear
this. Is like one of their hardest songs too. And I wasn't expecting it after that creepy, whimsy British song.
Well, how could you?
You can't listen to this music around anybody.
Listen to this verse though, it's so good.
My face is forever associated with this band. I can't undo it.
Yes. I want photos of us with the same effect as the album cover.
Oh man.
So this kind of, remember those drums, people? Remember those drums?
That type of drums. We got Bob Leith now. Okay, well, let's just take a minute to fucking catch our breath. What the fuck?
This was in contention for best.
Best. I'm giving this one best for sure. I'm giving it best.
I can't even be mad at that.
This is fucking, man.
Yeah, because for 20 years, well, I don't even feel like it's a spoiler. Like for 20 years, it was the best.
Yeah. Like
if I wasn't new to the game, like without a doubt, this would have been.
Like this is, okay, man, this is so much to unpack here, because this is an absolute behemoth of an album. It is not for those of weak will. This is one of the most exhausting albums. And this is coming from a guy who has the most recent fucking Swans album right behind him, which are longer, more exhausting albums. This is more of a you're going into battle with this. There's so much here. There's so many notes on this album. It's endless. There's an endless amount of riffs on this album.
As someone who likes this album, if you like this album, you are not mentally well. I hope at some point you've sought the help of a therapist, because Lord knows I have. So
I tried.
Point? Yeah. So it's okay to be mentally unwell. Please take care of yourself if you like this album.
It is so good, dude. I mean, so there's a lot to say about why someone wouldn't like this album, because I imagine a lot of people wouldn't like this album. I bet people would be terrified and really, really bored, because it is long. It's an hour and a half, and it's absolutely jam-packed with so many things.
It is one of those albums that makes me think how, like, no offense to Trout Mask Replica, and even though I'm not a fan of it, how like that album ends up on like greatest albums of all time, but something like this is considered like this is the socially taboo bridge we're not gonna cross here. But like Trout Mask, like in my brain, it doesn't make sense.
As a huge fan of Trout Mask Replica, and I do think it deserves to be on all this list, I also don't see how that is less weird than this.
Yes.
Like, that's arguably much, much weirder. I mean, much, much weirder. This, I mean, you can, it's up to taste which one you think is more technically impressive, because they're both pretty fucking nuts. But
they are different flavors of ice cream. That's just like an example of somehow that does get some like mainstream acceptance from time to time.
But I don't know, but I would probably guess it's because it's old. It's older and it's just got grandfathered in. And this is 96. 96. So but in that sense, I like it more. I don't know. I probably like it more than Trout Replica. I actually don't know. I have that album goes to childhood for me, so it's a apples and oranges thing. But for this, it's like combines so many things, yet it sounds like none of them. But what it creates is this whole new personality. Like hearing this following the last album, it's like, oh, holy shit, they have created an entirely brand new thing. Their style of riff on this album that kind of carries on into the future, especially coupled with the drums, it's so fucking unique. No band sounds like that. They do a lot of, the way this band does staccato and chokes, it's like, oh, if you show me a snippet of a song, I'll know it's Cardiacs. Which it's kind of, you can't say that with like a lot of complicated music and prog music or death metal or something, because a lot of it's like, hard to follow and hard to memorize. But there's something about these riffs when they do that really snappy 1-2 beat, when it dun 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 dun, they do that so much and it gets fucking drilled into your brain. Like it's such a characteristic. Like they created a whole new fucking genre with this album. It's crazy.
I mean, they've been making whole new genres.
Yes, but this is where those ones, even though they're crazy and unpredictable and wildly impressive, you can pick out elements like, oh, it's like Danny Elfman, I like all Mr. Bungle and this is like fucking no one. Like no one. What the hell is this?
Yeah, fair enough. I will say between this band, Killdozer, and Thinking Fellers, we are on an unprecedented streak of talking about songs about dogs.
Oh, yeah. Dog Like Sparky, track 3. Yeah.
Although Dog Like Sparky is the only one that could actually be used in a cartoon. Or the other ones.
Yes. I don't know about Knuckles the dog being in a cartoon.
I love Knuckles so much.
Yeah, it's great. But so, yeah, it's all hard to keep track of. It's all very zany and wild and crazy, but it has this new style. And one of the greatest songs that they've done, and one that it's just been in my head nonstop, is Fiery Gun Hand. I mean, Jesus, there's something so fucking there's something so genius about that song that I can't place. I can't stop thinking about.
That's the song where I made the Strapping Young Lad connection, where I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah, I didn't even look it up the way you did. I was like, there's no way Devin doesn't love this band.
Yeah. It didn't strike me until afterward. And it wasn't even Strapping Young Lad as much as it was his solo stuff.
Sure. I mean, he is pretty much.
Yeah. But like his solo stuff is a lot more zany and
for sure.
What would you call it? Like sci-fi?
Yeah, there's like cleaner singing, cleaner guitar parts in his solo stuff, where Strapping a Lad is like weird, like heavy metal.
Heavy. Yeah. But, death metal at times. And so, yeah. So again, like every other album, there's no point in trying to describe what these songs sound like, just general things, because there's certain stuff that's really accessible and way more simple than the stuff that sounds like, oh, that's very Zappa sounding. At least that guitar solo is kind of Zappa sounding. The rest of the song is fucking whatever the hell, its own thing. Like like Fairy Mary Mag.
I was gonna say, in an attempt to describe it, they have like these glittery effects on that song, and I didn't think you could match up drums with glittery effects, but the way those things play off each other is so cool and so unique, and I can't think of any other song to compare it to.
The glittery, shimmering stuff, the twinkling, they do a lot of that. They've been doing it for a while, but it
really stands out on that song.
And when they do that, that's such a cheesy thing generally. Like when I hear glittery stuff in music, it tends to be like really glossy production and really playing music that I'm typically not too big on. It's overproduced kind of. I kind of associate it with it being overproduced. This is like the best use of those textures I've ever heard. I mean, it's its own separate thing. It doesn't feel overproduced. It feels the only way it could have been produced for music that's fucking nuts.
Yeah. Another song where I can't really like pinpoint it, but Manhu is this surreal, dreamy psychedelia circus music thing, and there's something about the effects they put on the vocals that I can't pinpoint, but It feels so good to me.
Yeah, that one, it has like this big pop rock riff. It's there's a lot of pop rock in it. It's relatively simple compared to the other ones. But so it's like a normal song for them, but it's not normal. Like what I thought was like, it sounds like a normal song going through sleep paralysis. It's like you recognize it as what could be normal, but it's definitely not.
Sure.
And then so this is a double disc, not even a double album, double CD, and disc 1 ends with Wireless. And
oh man,
Jesus Christ, that song, man. Oh my God, that song.
They don't really like, they dabble in trippy. They don't really do trippy songs, but this one is one of the few like start to finish trippies. And it's one of like the few Cardiac songs I just want to simmer and stew in that song. I just want to hang out in that song.
You want to listen to it forever.
Other songs are a nightmare clown maze that I'm going through for the same reasons I watch a horror movie, and it's fun and I like it, but I don't want to stay there. That song I want to just hang out there. That
is, if the album ended with that would be a perfect closer. I mean, it's the closer for the first half, but it's so fucking so the way it's their most, maybe not their, one of their most, if not their most repetitive song.
Mm-hmm.
It hangs on one melody for almost all 8 minutes of it, but the vocal performances, they sound so helpless, and it's just so fitting, and it's so calm and relaxed in how much it repeats itself, but it's a beautiful melody. It's a beautiful kind of dark sort of melancholy melody. It's phenomenal. And it goes on and on and on. And I never want it to end. And then when it finally does end, it ends with a fucking literal orchestra.
Yeah. Just like, I guess we've done double albums, but I don't know. I haven't really, I guess it's something I'll have to circle back to when I can listen to music like a normal person, and maybe just listen to like consecutive double albums, not in one sitting, but like really think about like, I think when you do a double album, it's like, okay, you close this chapter and then you open a new chapter. And I think in terms of a double album, this does it extremely well, where it's like, oh, well, I wouldn't want to put songs from disc 2 on disc 1 because I really like the story each disc tells, while also like completing each other.
Yeah, it's not quite as mix and matchy, where you get two sides of that. You get the double albums where you can kind of mix around the songs. It doesn't really matter so much because it's all so long. And then you get the ones where it's like, oh, all the shitty songs are in the second half. This is like 2 albums, just 2 isolated great albums.
I feel like the big Smashing Pumpkins album is that way.
Which way?
Where they put I think like all the singles, and not that makes them the best songs, they put them all on disc 1, and then disc 2 is like,
yeah,
it's probably not. It's been a long time since I've listened to that because it's a double album, but yeah.
That All Eyes on Me from Tupac. That's another one. Like,
ooh,
rough second listen.
I think the only hip hop albums is probably like Wu-Tang Forever and then Outkast's Speakerboxxx Love Below. Like those are probably the only hip hop albums that are like deserve double albums. Cause yeah, like that Biggie, I love Biggie. He only has so much, but yeah, that's not a great double album.
No, it is not. But so moving on to the second half, it opens with Dirty Boy, 9 minutes. And that's one song where that's the only song in the entire discography where I can like, okay, that one felt long. Every other song, all their long songs, I'm completely on board with. I still like the song quite a bit. I think it's a great song. I do feel that the length on that one.
That was the song where I was like, oh, Darren sings like Tim from the Cardiacs. So the first 3 minutes went by quick for me, and then I was a little more engaged, and I was like, okay, there's some, let's see where they go. And I think we're used to just like riffs a minute. This nonstop riffs. And this is one of the few songs where they just build and build and build layers until they hit you with one of the most obnoxious, high-pitched noises you've heard, and it goes for a while.
It's a little bit tiring on the ears from a physical standpoint. Like you feel your ears getting tired. It's not like the song is getting boring. It's like, oh yeah, they when I say these mixes are jam-packed, they are, I mean, bursting at the seams. I mean, there's so much in every song. And then the second half starts after that big first track. It starts to move along a little quicker because you get Billion, which is a nice little dreamy interlude, and then Odd Even, which is like, I don't know, man. It's this just kind of straightforward acoustic thing, but when the band comes in, it just gets so satisfying.
Yeah, it is one of their more accessible songs until some wacky keyboards come in.
Yes, I do like that key solo.
Yes, I was really taken aback because it's one song. Bell Stinks, Bell Chinks.
Oh, Clinks. Alex is racist. Bell Stinks, Bell Clinks. Yeah, two separate tracks, basically one song.
Yeah, it's insane how fast that song is.
Oh yeah,
like it sounds like someone took a Queen song and this made it fast.
Yeah. It's so Bell Stinks, you know, like the first, it's basically like an intro to it. It's like, oh, it's hyper and fast, and you're like, oh, it's fun and bubbly. And then when Bell Clinks comes on, it just gets faster and more hyper. Like
Insane.
It does sound like just Queen being fast forwarded, but it's super cool. It's super fucking cool.
I do think, and I think this is just going to happen on a double album. A dip for me, and it's a fun song, but I think Flap Off Your Beak is
Flap Off Your Beak. Yeah.
Yeah. It's this like, it's okay. It's kind of a victim of circumstance, but
I like it. It's another, the acoustic stuff on that one. I think the riffs are wonderful. It's a winner for me. I still dig it. And I also like the pacing aspect of it, the way it follows the two super hyperactive songs. Quiet as a Mouse is the only track of its kind, I think, in the whole discography. It's an interlude, but it's just like scary soundscapes and an old lady and sounds of torture or something like that.
I assume they're talking a bunch of British nonsense, probably about like crumpets and stuff.
Crumpets, crepes. Wait, that's French. Yeah, something like that.
Probably tea.
Hobnobs and such.
Hobnobs.
Yeah, that sounds tasty. And then Angel Worm Angel just kicks a ton of ass.
Oh my God. That's one of the, like, I can't even decipher what the fuck is going on. Like, no wonder these guys hang out with Napalm Death.
Oh my God. Yeah, I forgot Napalm Death is also, that's crazy. That's so crazy. But yeah, it's an onslaught of sound. It's just, it's overwhelming. This band is fucking overwhelming. This album is overwhelming, but it's just too fucking cool, man. I mean, the Nurse's Whispering Verses, I mean, it's like about almost 10 minutes, and it's one of my it's one of my favorite songs on the album, and probably the best song on disc 2, I think. It's so good, man. Like those guitar lines, they actually remind me of Chrome, like Helios Creed, Chrome, with the like the effects they use on them. It's so dark and just a lot of lovely. I mean, there's a whole chunk around 4 minutes in that's just dark and lovely as shit. And it ends with a bunch of ambience. The 10 minutes just feels right.
It does. It's very surreal, unsettling vibes. Like you said, the guitar is great. And
it could have ended there. It could have closed on that and been fine. But it closes it with Foundling, which is like, no, we're going to end it with something light.
Yes.
And it's acoustic. It's slower. It's a breeze compared to the last track. And honestly, most of the tracks.
They're lucky they're good at this, because some bands would have fumbled that. But I think Founding is a nice thing to return me back to earth.
Indeed. Yeah, this is just one of the most ambitious albums I've ever heard. It's definitely one of the most filled and full and absolutely exploding mixes I've ever heard. And yeah, so like now this is the heaviest they've been, and the production is reflecting that. They're chunky now. They hit harder, or at least the production feels as though it hits harder. And even though it's still Cardiacs, the depth is just like, oh, they've completely jumped off a cliff here.
I think they jumped off a cliff, and then as they were falling, they found another cliff to jump off.
Yeah.
They fell onto a cliff, and instead of climbing back up, they said, let's do that again.
Let's do that. Yeah. Oh my God. Exhausting to listen to in one sitting. I'll tell you that. Absolutely exhausting. But fuck, man, it's great. Wow. I tend to listen to these big ass albums in one sitting. Well, I also do multiple albums a day. So I just listen to a lot of music. But
when I say I didn't do it in one sitting, I mean I got up and I took a walk and I didn't listen to any music, so I could.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, in one day, sure, but not.
Yeah, like, I mainline these albums. I do back to back. Well, sometimes I'll take like 10 minutes and be like, all right, and then I'll do another album. But so another reason why the last reason I'm kind of giving this best is because there's something I haven't yet understood about it. There's something I haven't yet figured out yet. And it's the only other album that I reference. That's not true. The album I reference the most, also having this, is one of my favorite albums of all time, The Real Thing by Faith No More. Whereas when I first heard it, I liked it, and I didn't know why I liked it. I didn't know that I liked it that much. All I knew is that I wanted to hear it again, and I couldn't. I was like, I think I liked it. I don't really know how much I mean, it was cool, but why am I dying to go back to it? That's this. As soon as I put on the first, I'm like, oh, I want to hear this fucking thing all over again. And like my second listen, I thought I didn't like it quite as much as the first, but yet after I'm done with it, why do I want to hear it again? There's something that gets unraveled with these songs, because you can't process it in one listen. You can't. All these songs, they do too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially. Sorry, I scrolled down. Where was it? Oh, Angel Worm Angel. Just that's the poster child for doing so goddamn much. So
much. So this from the website, it says in early 1995, Cardiacs were finally given the go-ahead to record an album. The time of their chastisement had come to an end. They were never really sure why they had been so punished, but that time was over, and it was now a time for rejoicing. They recorded their album Sing to God at Apollo 8 and Sally Birthday House Studios. So many songs, it had to be a double album. They also re-released their entire back catalog onto Super CD format.
Super CD.
So yeah, this is my best and pretty crazy. I'm glad it has a lot of love and very few unfavorable reviews from the world, because it's just really nuts and unlike anything. It's just too unique. It's the beginning of something completely new, and yeah, it's just exciting. I find it to be very exciting. So we have two more left. Are you ready for the next one?
I'm so ready.
Here we go. 1999's their last album during the band's existence, pretty much. 1999's Guns.
Pretty accessible for them.
Oh yeah, very Kinks.
This album made me think
of that right now.
This album, because I thought it was going to be heavy again. Like their most like Pulp and Sparks adjacent album, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those vocal layers are always so interesting. let's get a move on. So that
is a much different opener, but
Yes.
it's not completely foreign to the style that we've had from the last album.
And I'm going to give this worst least favorite just because I think it's the one I'd least likely to revisit anytime soon.
This was going to be my worst least favorite. And then I listened to the next album, and then I went back to this one with the clean palette, having not heard Sing to God in a while.
Mm.
And I liked it way more. Listening to this right after Sing to God, it felt like, oh, well, it was going to be hard to follow that album no matter what. So if you listen to this album directly after Sing to God, it's going to feel way, way weaker. But then I had to remind myself, this came out 3 years later. People had plenty of time to digest that album and to be ready for something else. So not only did I like it more on second listen, I was able to appreciate it more knowing that it came this much later, because my main problem with it was that Sing to God was such a vast change and step forward, and this feels almost like no step forward.
Yeah, this is, I mean, despite the title of the album and the album cover, like this is their pop album.
Man, that album cover is hilarious to me. I mean, it looks so cheap.
It looks fake.
It looks fake. I love it.
I can't even say AI because AI could never make something that looks.
No, they'd be trying too hard to make it look real and it look fucking creepy. This looks like someone just half-assed their job.
It's so bizarre and I guess appropriate for the band.
Yeah. So, yeah, it is more. I didn't put that together quite as much, but you're right. It is when you point out the pulp. You say Pulp and Sparks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where it has a little bit. It's also very English. It's one of the more English sounding albums.
It's so funny that Sparks is not British.
They're not English at all, but they were so kind to them that it basically became their second home.
Yeah, Sparks is basically British.
They're basically, I mean, the only country that appreciated them in the early days. But yeah, especially when you get song titles like "Come Back, Clammy Lammy." I mean, that's all right.
I do like that one. It's invoking like some 70s psychedelic hard rock. I think the horns are a nice touch too on that one.
Definitely, it's their version of a high energy rock song, which
For
is
sure.
Still very much Cardiacs in their personality, but it's a little bit more straight like that. But yeah, there's Good Cud, feels great. It's got it's like we've never heard them do cowpunk before, and it's their version of cowpunk. It sounds fucking great.
Yeah, it is like a fun, snarky punk song, and also I haven't really thought about like punk music since like their earlier albums, so that was kind of nice.
Yeah, it was a nice change. It has like double kicks in there, and it feels really good. I absolutely love When It Rains Is Cold. The really strong driving piano riff, minor key stuff, but it's pretty subtle for them, especially for them, but wonderful.
More like weird, creepy kid singing on that one.
The creepy kid singing stuff, like, is it? I think it's just pitch shifted vocals. I mean, it may be. I'm just calling it that because that's. No, I know, but I think I don't actually know. It probably is pitch shifted vocals along with female vocals. I can't really tell. That's the kind of fun of it, I guess. Like, you don't know what the hell is happening.
There are 2 women credited for doing vocals, so
there's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, I don't think it's like actual children, although it would be crazy if it was. Children probably aren't allowed anywhere near this band.
They probably shouldn't be. I mean, look at the members' faces.
Cry, wet, smile, dry. That is like pulp for sickos.
Pulp for sickos. I found the title to be somehow really, really descriptive of the band. It's like,
yes.
Yeah, I mean, I totally see that.
Crying is wet and smiles are dry, although I don't know why you would ever use those words to describe them.
It's great. Yeah, it's very factual. It's like a weird translation of something. But yeah, it's not one of my favorites, but I do appreciate it. On first listen, the only song in the entire discography that I wrote down as like, all right, this is a miss for me, was Jitterbug.
Oh, I was hoping it was the same one, but no, yeah.
On second listen, I changed my mind and I'm okay with Jitterbug. Like
when it gets electric and spacey, that's when it won me over.
See, that's when it lost me the first time, but on the second time, because I wasn't focused enough the first time. This is a perfect example of what I was talking about before with if it's on in the background, this is not going to work for a lot of this. So the first half is really strong. It's just great synth lines. It's more wackiness. The second half, and it is a full second half of the song. How long is it? It's like it's like 7 minutes. It's a 7-minute song, 7.5 minute song. The full second half is how it's this drony, psychedelic, long, meandering synth vocal thing that goes on and on and on. And it's like it's very ambitious, but it's just difficult and it's weird and it takes up so much of the song. I was like, how the fuck? Why is it going on so long? Boring. And then when I heard it again, I started trying to like actually pay attention. It's such a complicated progression. It feels endless. It's such a complicated progression that it's almost like you can't tell when it begins and ends, but it does begin and end. So the game for me became trying to figure out where it begins and ends, and like figuring out like, okay, how did they get to this part? It became like a puzzle. So it turned it from being boring to being really interesting. So it's like, that's what I mean. It's going to seem like a bunch of fucking random nonsense if you're not focused on it. And this is not for everyone, of course, but it is really intelligent.
I thought it was just going to be like a little bridge section to get to the next one. But yeah, no, it's like once you're there, that's the rest of the song. And yeah, I found it charming. So
yeah,
I think my least favorite Cardiac song ever, and it's not even bad, I was just underwhelmed, is Signs.
It's an all-time favorite Cardiac song.
That's so insane.
It's my favorite song on the album, and it's one of my all-time favorite Cardiac songs.
That's insane. Maybe,
how do you? Yeah. It's so fucking. It's gorgeous. It's
maybe
gorgeous.
I was just hit by so many riffs, so many notes, so many things that one just flew under. Because I was like, it's fine. It's fine.
That's crazy to me because on both listens, when it came, because it's toward the end of the album, it's the third to last track. On both listens, as soon as it came on, I was like, "Oh, everyone, stop! What's happening here? This is gorgeous. This is absolutely beautiful minor key stuff right here. Big, bombastic, very full. But you have to listen for yourself, folks. I mean, I think it's incredible.
I guess I am crazy because that was a single for them. So
that sounds like in my opinion, it seems like a sellable single because, man, it's just so grabby. We keep talking about how fucking crazy and spastic they are, but when they're grabby, they're grabby as shit. Like, they really latch on to certain riffs. But yeah, and as far as this being a super English sounding album, ain't he messy though? Oh boy. I mean, the tuba and trumpet stuff, it's jolly sounding. I mean, that's about as English as it gets.
That's one of like the only songs where I was like, okay, I can hear the Beatles in here. I'm sure it's in other songs, but like, okay, the way they're using the trumpets and the horns and stuff's very Beatles-esque.
I thought that as well. Yeah. There's moments where it's like, I don't remember, it might not even be, I don't even think it's on this album, but there's just moments where like, oh yeah, that's Beatlesy, but so much more. It's like if the Beatles took every drug at once. Like it's really intense. But then what's the closer? We'll bleed it, mate. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So Jesus Christ. Like I love this one too. I mean, I think the entire final chunk is really strong. Even Song of Dead Pest, it's a little bit more peppy and light, but I like that one a lot. But We'll Beat 'Em In. Jesus Christ. It's like it's simpler than the early stuff, but it still has that kind of energy to it. It's kind of the kookiest they've been in a while.
I think it's one of the more like for sure kooky, but it's like one of the more high energy songs on here. And yeah, I was surprised to hear them bring in like elements of like old timey rock and roll and organs and all that.
Yeah, I caught that too. Definitely wasn't expecting that. And then the song ends around 440. Then there's a bit of silence, and then this secret track kind of comes on. And what is it? I think it's called Secret Like Swans. That's what they call it. And it's organ, driven by organ, very big and anthemic, very fitting for a closer. Sounds great.
Yeah, just singing over an organ, nice and simple for this band. So
Alex's worst and least favorite, but also he doesn't hate it. I don't. It's one of my lesser favorite ones for sure, but I still think it's great. I still think it has some of my favorite songs ever on there, and it's their English Britpoppy album. I mean, for them. So yeah, it's still absolutely worth checking out. So this is we'll start from the website and then we'll go from there. So it says over the next few years, the Alphabet business concern gave the impression that they had loosened the reins a little. So the band toured a lot and recorded their next album, Guns, which was released in 1999. It was probably a good time. It was during these supposedly good times that Tim Smith took unfair advantage of the Alphabet business concerns, impartiality, and went AWOL to write and record with strangers. That is all a very silly, goofy way of saying that, pursued other projects. Had some side projects, took a little break. But that's not all that happened because for those who don't know, Jesus Christ, the website says right here, we all know what happened in 2008, and that's all they say about it. It's fucking brutal. So in 2008, Tim Smith, got into a little situation with cardiac arrest. Jesus Christ. He went to see My Bloody Valentine. Check our episode on My Bloody Valentine. And after he went to have drinks with, I forget who it was. It was I think it was a bandmate. I don't remember who it was. I'm just running through the story because it's very in depth. Goes to have drinks. As he's leaving or so, he has a heart attack. And that led to hypoxic brain damage, with leaving him with dystonia. So his heart attack triggered a major stroke and then an episode of cerebral anoxia. He was treated for that and he was kind of recovering from that. And then they think he had a second stroke a few days later while he was recovering. And that caused, I think, the brain damage, the hypoxia, and it left him paralyzed on one half of his body and unable to speak. And then he was eventually diagnosed with dystonia, and that causes apparently muscles to contract uncontrollably. So he wasn't a vegetable. He had his brain, but his body gone. No speaking, no moving. Obviously the band was just kaput. No touring, no nothing, no recording, no nothing. And that led to an 8 years and years worth of recovering and fundraising and making the final album. Still making. So what do you know about this?
I just went over briefly and read he had the heart attack and the stroke with the dystonia, and that and I'm just reading from the wiki because 12 years, the lyrics and compositions for each of the songs of the album were established by Tim's family and friends, communicating with him via the position of his eyes and his left hand using an alphabet board, which is the crazy dedication from everyone involved. And man, what a crazy, just I don't know how, like, if an album's ever been written this way before.
Yes, it was Jason Becker's second solo album. So I remembered that afterward because do you know Jason Becker at all?
No.
He was a virtuoso guitar player, full on the greatest shredder of all time kind of guy. And he was he did a bunch of stuff in the 80s. He played with Marty Friedman in the band Cacophony. It was just all shred fest. And then he joined I think David Lee Roth's solo band at some point, but he got ALS, and he eventually of course now he's fully paralyzed, can't speak, can't do nothing, but he developed a little system to communicate using his eyes, just looking in certain directions. And he made an entire album using that method and hiring other musicians and dictating. It took years, and it wasn't a bad album. I remember because Jason Becker it's a style on its own, very guitar heavy, very solo-y. It's not like, it's not for everybody. I don't particularly love that kind of thing so much, but I think he was a pretty good songwriter, and he had a really good mind for creativity especially with guitar stuff. He was an unbelievable guitar player, which is extra sad, but yeah, he was still able to kind of transpose stuff and dictate an entire album's worth of material, not being able to speak at all. So it reminded me of that. I think that album took years and years, of course. So it just makes sense. The thing about this one with Cardiacs and Tim is that even though, yeah, he was an amazing, unbelievably great musician, you could hear in every Cardiacs album the level of precision, the level of perfectionism, the level of detail. It's overwhelming. Like the music is to listen to think about how much work it takes to make an album like that, just for any person. Now take that person's ability to speak and play music away from them and have the album still get made to the same caliber. How the fuck? Like, no knock on Jason Becker, he's amazing, but the Cardiacs albums are a beast.
Yeah, and just the fact that like it sounds like this was almost like wrapped up before like the album was almost done before he had the heart attack, and then it's like yeah, just like the restraint, because I could see a lot of bands being like, okay, well, we have this written, let's like figure out some clever ways to maybe like wrap this up, and we'll put out what we have. The restraint from 2008 until now, 2025, to be like, no, this needs to be done in a certain way and to our standards. We're not just going to put it out just because that's what we have. And a lot of people, this is the end. Like the album is a testament to willpower.
An amazing testament to willpower. The reason, yeah, this took years and years to come out, and well, we're going to talk about it now because you can tell why it took years to come out. So, are you ready for the final album?
I'm so fucking ready.
This is 2025's LSD.
So majestic.
I realize like they really are a timeless band, because they have things where like, oh, that sounds like the 80s, or it sounds like this, but like they've crafted out their own sound where like this could have been released. If you told me this was released the year after Guns, I would have believed you.
Yeah. And these progressions, they just keep going and going. Man. So, this is basically the whole song.
Yes, yeah. the singing is the progressions and stuff, and the instruments are doing the big ringing out stuff. And this is the best album. I think even without knowing what went into it, this is so epic and so insanely well crafted. Not only is this their best album, this is one of the best albums 2025.
Oh, yeah, no question, dude. No question.
And then you throw in the story of how it got made, and it's just like, how can you not love this album?
It's crazy. So the only drawback I think I have with the entire album is the lack of Tim, because I really loved his voice.
Yes, his trademark vocals are missed.
Yeah, and there's some performances from because there's a lot of people replacing him. It's not just one. There's so many people on this album. Everyone's chipping in. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. I think it's Mike Venart, who is from, where is he from? British Theater and Empire State Bastard, bands that I'm not familiar with, but that's where he's from. I think it's his vocals that I'm not super big on. I don't think they're bad. I think they're fine. I think they just feel a little less like Cardiacs than I'm comfortable with. But skipping all that, there's something that just makes me feel good about this album. I by the end of it, it's like, oh, I feel happy now. This album weirdly made me happy.
Same. I wasn't like, they're weird and kooky and zany, but like, man, there's so many songs where you're like, this feels so good after listening to them, and it is a constant throughout the album. It's not one or two albums. It's
songs, you mean?
Yeah. Sorry. This consistent throughout the album, that it makes you like, these songs more often than not make you feel good.
They really do. And also they're way less coked up. Like, these aren't coked up songs anymore. They're still super proggy, and there's still a lot of zaniness and there's a lot of energy, but it feels a little bit more inviting. It's a little bit more accessible.
For sure. It's just, it's like they did like one last metamorphosis here.
Yeah, it's one last final little evolution, and it's simpler, but it doesn't feel like, when you hear a lot of, not just reunion albums, but just, old school bands that put out a new album, they're a little older, and then it feels simpler, it feels slower, it feels like, oh, all right, they're getting older, they're kind of like toning it down. It doesn't feel like that. It is, it's in a way like that, but it doesn't feel like that.
The songwriting is still technically very impressive and insane, but yeah, it's probably not as abrasive or as jarring as like stuff on Sing to God. Like Jen is this, these great like jaunty parts and these galloping rhythms, and also I think this is because there's so many notes and so many layers of things going on other albums. I wouldn't really say any instrument is like the star of the show. Like, this feels like a very like their most guitar driven album.
Yeah, I think that's probably why it feels more digestible. It's a little bit more straightforward because of that.
Yeah, there's so many times where I'm like, oh my god, those guitar parts are they stay with you, and perhaps that's because Tim's not there to sing, so it's like, okay, well, the guitar is going to be pushed up to the front a little bit more.
Yeah, there's a lot more acoustic guitars on here. There's a lot more big open chord changes. So the May and Jen, it's really hard to tell when one ends and the next one begins. It's basically one big song.
It does bleed into each other.
Yeah, I mean, it's so both listens. I didn't catch when Jen actually started, but because they're so similar in intensity. But Jen is definitely more jaunty, and it's a little bit more. I think I like it more if I had to separate the songs. But it's basically one great big song. But another all time favorite is the Blue and Buff, which is A lot of the acoustic stuff on this album really lands for me.
Yeah. Blue and Buff is for sure one of their poppier songs, but there's so many unique, bright textures to it that I think is so unique.
It's beautiful. The guitar leads on that song, which are all over the place, they remind me of fucking Metallica guitar harmonies. It's like, oh, these are just beautiful they're really intricate, proggy little leads, but they're wonderful. It's like it's a song that is very proggy that you can show people.
Yeah. Earlier we were talking about how at the very beginning of the episode, we were talking about how beautiful how great these like string sections are, but because you have this wall of sound, you can't really digest it or like be sure that's what you're hearing. And I think the best example of that is Spelled All Wrong. The singing is so surreal to me. I love the guitar playing, and then 204 you get the string section, but it does in Cardiac's fashion, it does go by kind of quick, but at the end they drop everything out and you have just the strings in it, like confirms what you knew all along was true. Yeah,
that final chunk, man. It's super dreamy and odd, but absolutely beautiful stuff. Yeah, that's a great one too. And then, but the unusual zany kind of energy is still there. Like what you got by numbers, still.
It's so funny. It took them that long to throw some oys in the song.
Oh, I didn't even catch the oys.
They were pretty prominent in there.
I guess I was. You're on the freeway with this band. I mean, it's
no.
You catch what you catch.
As someone who overlooked signs, apparently, I'm not judging.
So that song. Oh, man, like when I say like the riffs are endless, that the outro to that song, it seems like the riffs just don't end. It's like it's one thing, but you don't know where it begins or ends. It just keeps going and going, and eventually it just kind of sinks its hooks into you. It's like, all right, that's actually pretty cool.
A highlight on here is definitely Skating. Continues the bright, cheery vibes. You get some psychedelia in there. You get some keyboard solos. And then at one point, they do this like Link Ray guitar. And then, of course, the circus math rock parts. And then they go like actual like full surf rock for a bit. I think Skating is one of their greatest, most well-written songs ever. What a like masterclass that song is.
Yeah, it does so much. It does so much. The happens at the very beginning, I think, the crazy choir break.
Yes.
Oh my God, man. Like they're just so
one of this like drops out, is this the choir?
Yeah. I mean, it's just so unusual, but the and also because they never really did surf before, at least not this straightforward. Hearing them do surf, it's like the same level of excitement that I got when I heard them do cowpunk for the first time. It's like, fuck, man, they do that cool too.
Also, as like a muse, like I like that they kind of cued you in on it, because when he switches to like that surf guitar tone, it's not like fully there yet. But if you're a music nerd, like your mind's already kind of there, and then they actually like do the surf. I just think that's so clever.
Yeah, I caught that as well. Great stuff. We got that. Now we're back in ballad territory with Breed, which this whole stretch, man, it's such a great, like the whole second half, I think really does it for me.
It's probably one of their most pleasant songs they've ever written.
Yeah. I'm
sure the lyrics are weird and wacky, but in terms of how the music sounds, really, really pleasant stuff there.
It's pleasant. It's has a very steady, digestible rhythm, but the progressions are still really complex and hard to follow. So it's like it's really complicated shit presented in a way that's easy to swallow.
Yes. And another great example is Volb,
something like that,
where it's like those are kind of mathy riffs, but they're surprisingly accessible, especially for this band. And yeah, despite the technical prowess, it's another one of those songs where at the end you're like, this is just delightful.
Yeah, and it has that cowpunk beat on there, but it's done in a more country, just standard country western kind of way, which is another different flavor that we haven't gotten with them. It's just wonderful. I mean, this whole second half of the album keeps going from thing to thing because Busty Breeze is like fucking Crimson Red. I mean, it's like that.
It is an epic instrumental. It's a highlight for me, and I think, they don't really have instrumentals, and I understand why it was necessary on this one, but I don't know. I think it's really cool. It makes the song its own thing, despite the hours and hours of insanity and all the notes. I can sit there and be like, this is Busty Bees. Like,
yeah, and it's 9 minutes, but it's fine. Like,
it's so fun.
I mean, it's just really epic. And then this one has straight up Morricone opera wails in there, and yeah, it's
that's probably why I loved it.
It's great, man. It's fucking great. And then with Lovely Eyes, which is relatively easy to grab onto, especially following Busty Bees. Beautiful strings on there.
Just like a nice driving, like bass drum beat throughout the song. And yeah, that was where I was like, maybe I'm just fully like indoctrinated on their music now, but like I was just surprised how many of these songs were making me feel happy.
Yeah, the second half of this album in particular really was like, man, like ditzy scene, like, oh man, this feels great. It's really nice.
Also, I think that's one of the earliest. I think that's been floating around since 2008.
Oh, has it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's also another song called Vermin Mangle. That's right. Apparently they left it off the album because I think they felt it didn't fit in some way. It didn't fit the tone. I listened to that before starting this call, and beautiful. It's very fucking good. Very beautiful stuff. It feels like it could be a closer of sorts. But yeah, like this whole final chunk of album, it's just uplifting in a way. And Made All Up is just an all-time favorite. There's just
also it's nice to have, like, even on this album is, or also maybe I just haven't noticed, but I feel like it's kind of light on the like cartoon music and the circus music. So all Made Up, it's like, it is nice, like one last cartoon song.
Yeah. So like at this point, it's the second to last track on an hour and 20-minute album. You think that
this might as well be a double album.
Yeah, it's fucking 80 minutes is brutal. So when that song comes on, it's the second to last track. You could say it's like, oh, it's like many others here. It's not that much. But for some reason, like a couple albums ago, I had the same feeling. It's like, no, it's just so fucking good. It's just making me feel great. It's another all-time favorite. I mean, fucking hell, man. And then the closer, buddy, the closer. They could not have picked a more perfect closer, because I think, if I'm not being misinformed by Wiki, Tim finished the lyrics to Pet Fenzant the day before he died.
Oh.
And that's the closer, and it is a fucking perfect closer.
Yes, it's one of the few songs where I'm like, the horns are beautiful. You just don't get a chance to say that about horns too. Well, me as a rock fan, or I guess I think a horns is like fun usually. Yeah. I
Victorious,
guess, yeah. I guess certain jazz musicians may be able to convey beauty, but that's not my area. But they're so beautiful here.
That's why I keep comparing it to Morricone, because Morricone does trumpets beautiful.
There you go.
Yeah, and yeah, it's one of their best closers. It's big acoustic. Lots of acoustic layers, lots of strings, lots of choir. It just feels so. They meant it as like a goodbye song to Tim, and it fucking feels like it, but it doesn't feel like it in a depressing way. It just feels like it in a very loving and beautiful, and like it just it's perfect.
Absolutely. And yeah, like with this band, I don't know what kind of mood is gonna be if, like, and especially, you know, they clearly have like a darker sense of humor, and like I could see them wanting to, like, you know, we're the Cardiacs and we're gonna stick to our guns and do this whatever they want to do, and to this have it be this lovely, delightful send off and not miss a beat and not compromise any of what they are at their core is this it's phenomenal and inspiring. I like probably the most inspiring album of the year.
No question.
Also, I noticed it. I saw other people notice it. It is funny. This came out the same day as Cardi B's album. So like when you type in CARDI, you'll see both.
Jesus Christ, that is funny. Yeah. Like, so back to some of the making of this album, because Tim died in 2020. He had another heart attack. So, and from the website it says because he had the whole gap there where he was just incapacitated. I think he had a fundraiser at one point. They were trying to raise £40,000 for medical bills, and then like, who was it from Faith No More? I forget. Like a bunch of musicians, like they met the goal within one day, and then they increased it to 100K, and then they met that as well. So it was really helping him a lot. He was hanging in there for a while.
Oh, Billy Gold.
It was Billy Gold, yeah. And so that was going on for a while. And so the website says right here, and so for 12 years, history ceased to be created by Cardiacs. Unless we consider the undignified shenanigans of Tim Smith, who fell into a pool filled with shit and was bravely and without complaint crawling and scratching his way out of it until his untimely and tragic death in July 2020. After that, in 2021, this is from the rest of the band, or it's still from the same website, but it says, the Alphabet Business Concern wishes it to be known that whilst maintaining complete control of his artistic output, we have dissociated ourselves entirely with Tim Smith's illness and in fact failed to recognize it as an excuse for not fulfilling his duties. We must, however, insist that history continues to be made. Smith continues to refuse to answer his telephone or correspondence of any kind and would appear by all sense of the word to have disappeared without our permission. Therefore, we have no choice. We've had no choice but to commission his idiot brother Jim Smith to herd together the cats that are the scattered pieces of all that is Cardiacs in an attempt to breathe new life into the whole shenanigans. Will he succeed? Watch this space. And yeah, it's a very fun way of addressing that they're going to keep moving forward with the album. And I believe, I don't remember, it might have been Jim who said this, I'm forgetting, but I think he said that this album couldn't have been completed if Tim survived, because it would have taken too long.
They would have just kept tinkering with it.
Imagine continuing to tinker when you can't speak or move.
I mean, yeah, I think I talked about what a amazing, like, the willpower, but also like, I think there's maybe some middle ground where it comes out before 2025.
Perhaps, but also,
and even after his passing, it took them five years.
Exactly, it took them 5 years after he died, and I would say it's pretty much worth it. Also, we got Rob Crow in this album, who keeps showing up in a bunch of random bands. He plays apparently drum fuckery, according to the personnel. But yeah, man, it's easily one of the best albums of the year. It's such again, like every other album, super ambitious, just in a slightly different way. My only problem is some of the vocal tracks don't land as hard. There's a lot less energy in the vocals overall, but that's just because we don't got Tim. I mean, that's really it.
Yeah, that's just what it boils down to.
So this is what we got. This is the end, and I would say a pretty. I mean, it's hard to like even comment on it because fans have been waiting for this album for so long. Fucking 20 years for this. I mean, longer than that, honestly.
In some way, I'm blessed that I just got like I'm spoiled. I got it in one go. I didn't have to wait.
Yeah, we didn't have to wait at all. I mean, it almost feels dirty being like, oh yeah, this is a great album. It's like when everyone's like, no, you don't fucking get it, man. We've been waiting for fucking, but it is great. I mean, I
gave it best. What do you want from me?
Exactly. Coming directly from the rest of it, it just feels like, yeah, absolutely. This is the continuation of it. And it leaves you feeling good, which is unexpected with an album that is this sad. Like really, when it is this sad objectively and it leaves you feeling this good, fuck it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the end. I mean, holy shit. Thanks so much for listening and watching and hanging out. Thanks to everyone who's been supporting us this whole time and everyone who's been excited for this episode. I know I was certainly excited. And we did it. And how long did we do it? Just under 3 hours.
I hate it here. I need to touch grass.
I have to immediately start on albums for our next episode next week.
And editing. I shouldn't be complaining.
I have to edit this whole thing like today. So yeah, this is being recorded like a couple days before it drops. So let's do a little recap.
For me, personal favorite, A Little Man and a House and The Whole World Window. What a great first impression that left on me. And then worst, least favorite, Guns didn't have that je ne sais quoi that the rest have, but still a good album. And then boy oh boy, is LSD the best. I was not expecting an album that is so new to me to leave such an impact on me, and what an insane, inspiring story of how it was made.
One of the craziest. And for me, A Little Man in a House and The Whole World Window, personal favorite, instant fan maker, unbelievable album. On Land in the Sea, worst least favorite, because I heard it after A Little Man in a House. That's basically the reason. I mean, it's still a great album. And Sing to God, best, because they created an entirely brand new weird genre thing, and it's unlike anything I've heard before. And it's just nuts. It's just fucking nuts. But everyone should listen to LSD. I mean, holy crap! What an unexpected little treat for the year. Even though it was anticipated and expected, it was also in the camp of like, is it even going to get released? Is it forever? Like, is it actually getting released? For a while, I thought I was worried it would never get released.
It is their Chinese democracy, but unlike Chinese democracy, which
it's listenable. Yeah.
This is a testament to the band, and dare I say, the human spirit, to be a little cheesy.
Mm-hmm. Hell yes. Yeah, thanks to everyone who supported and for hanging out. If you like us and if you're new here and you're still watching, hang out with us further. Even though Alex is leaving the show, I will be continuing and pushing things along. And it's gonna be good stuff. It's gonna be a nice time. Everyone should join the ship. And speaking of joining the ship, join the Patreon. Hell yes, patreon.com/everyalbumever. You get bonus episodes, you get to see our schedules in advance, you get to join the Discord, hang out with the community, talk shop, talk shit, talk music. So go there and do that. Thank you very much. You can follow me on all social media at Panda Monkey and Alex on Bluesky at
Octatron3030.
And our history guy, Tom Osman at Tom Osman Sounds, TomOsmanSounds.com for his music, and whatever comes next, his podcast, which you can find links to in the description, and a link to my EP in the description as well. Some of you have been listening to it and saying nice things, so thank you for that. Yeah, long time coming. We finally did it.
Shut up now. Shut the fuck up. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, not you, the fan.
I know. I'm talking about the people. Even though this was a 3-hour episode, get ready for a second 3-hour episode next week. People on the Patreon already know what it is, but you'll see. So until then, see ya.